Welcome back. NFHell Week 3. Thanks for being here. I'm your host, Midwest Jet. This is the show where we talk about the news. We talk about every week's games from last week and this week. We make predictions. We give us our opinion on everything. Again, I'm Midwest Jet. I am joined with Dames Marvs. Dames?
Got my Tez up today, as promised. And I'm repping Walter. What's up, gentlemen?
What
Go
up?
Gobo
Hey,
from Colorado.
that's right. Where the air is rare, and you all like to stare at your boy Gobo. What's up? I'm rocking Donald Driver today, so kind of a not a lifelong Packer. So I broke Dame's rule already.
I mean, his initials are double D. G-Man Jass. Welcome back.
Guys, I didn't know we were talking about shirts, but I got the classic Tecmo on, so
Nice.
Lawrence Taylor was pretty much unstoppable. Let's
That's
go.
hut,
Back
hut, hut,
back in
hut,
the win
hut.
column. Let's go.
All right, week 3 here. NFL. Thanks for making pick the stuff down in the comments. The first thing we want to start with is, as a team here at NFL, we listen to our fans. We talk to our fans out in the wilderness. We meet even when we're not on this, and we talk about things that we want to make our show better. One thing we're going to do, we're going to start adding little bookmarks in. So if you want to listen to Tell the Truth Only, you can fast forward there. If you want to listen to the last week's picks over and over again, you can always find out where they start. If you want to go to our predictions and see how dumb we are or smart, there will be a slider. And at the end of the show, always don't forget Ricky's picks. There will be a slider there. Thanks to Dames, who is our editor. So if you want to give him a little shout out on there, help him out.
Thank you, Dames.
Okay.
I'm not promising it. I'm gonna learn it right after we do this. So hopefully
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, it will be there, guys.
It's good.
We promise.
It's good.
Yeah, just look for it. All right. Anyway, that's going to open us up with our first part of the show, which is the news. The first 2 weeks, we've kind of started with the same man, the same legend, the same GOAT, Deion Sanders, back at it again. Colorado wins in overtime. What a crazy game. Colorado State. Hopefully, most of you, I'm assuming, have heard about some of the news. Their best player basically went to the hospital, lacerated liver. Anybody hear that too? Yeah. He's out at least 3 weeks, probably, Deion said. So that sucks. I'll just start with this right away. I love Deion, and on the show, you've heard us talking about, I think most of us talking about all these great things. A few things this week did bug me a little bit, and I'm going to start with his son at quarterback. I did see him after the game, or during the game, poking, like going up to someone's helmet and poking in there, trying to poke their eye. Shit like that to me just doesn't fly. Like, Deion, you can't preach, all of this, and then your son is out there being a dick, in my opinion. You're just being a dick. Play the game, bro. Play the game. Anybody else see this game, Dave?
Can I jump on this?
Yeah, I would love for you to jump on that.
Because I got some pretty strong opinions about this. I loved the idea of Deion coming because I thought we were going to get this no nonsense coach that was like, everybody fall in line. You know, there's no nonsense, no shenanigans. And all there's been is shenanigans. I realize that if a coach, could stop the coach across the way from talking shit about you, but you certainly can just go and handle your business without commenting but it seems like now every week we're coming into, and we'll see what happens with Oregon coming up. But it seems like now, and I really hope that this is not the case, that it's personal every week and there's infighting and arguments, players being separated at the center of the field before the game. And I'm worried at this point that all of this crap is going to get somebody hurt. And I look at the targeting on Hunter as a prime example of what can happen when just there's bad blood when there doesn't need to be. I mean, I get it's a rivalry and it's been there for a long time, but you don't need to throw gas on a fire. And I feel like he needs to figure that out before somebody gets really hurt. And again, I could be way off base, could never happen, but I know Gobo is a fan, so I'm going to let him
Seriously.
respond to my my comment.
Okay, so a couple of things here. So you're talking, for one, lifetime Colorado resident, my childhood friend and mentor did play for the Colorado Buffaloes, and you're looking at an individual who was tear gassed at the Rocky Mountain Showdown in 2002. So, yes, this is a rivalry game. It often gets out of hand, and which is why a shithole team like Colorado State out of the shithole division like the Mountain West can hold a candle to these guys. So, rivalry game, crazy shit. Travis Hunter's in the hospital. It's football. It's a contact sport. I mean, I honestly, I don't think that Dion is any worse than any of these other college administrators or coaches putting their players on the field for free for their own financial benefit. So that being said, I love Colorado football, and we've been terrible for the last 15 consecutive seasons. So I think next week will definitely tell. We do play Oregon, number 10 in the country. This might as well be the Pac-12 championship, because I think it's either of these teams is going to run this division, and whoever wins this game, I'm making a prognostication. Whoever wins this game is going to the college football playoffs.
Those are some strong words there for Colorado, and I'm kind of with you on this because I feel like who has Colorado played yet? I mean, I understand they're better. They only won one game last year. They win 2 games this year. You're already so much better.
Won 3 games.
Well, I mean, yeah, now you've won 3, but what I'm saying, yeah. So I'm saying, yeah, I'm agreeing with you that, yeah, they play Oregon here. It could be a totally different story. G-Man?
Guys, primetime, Deion Sanders. You talk smack against Deion, he's going to talk back names. So his personality is what it is, and they're going to use any piece of laundry from the other team to use it to their advantage. And yes, maybe that hit doesn't happen if that big narrative isn't brewing, the animosity and all that. But to Gobo's point, maybe it happens every year regardless who's on coaching, because the rivalry's that big. But you got people already, they're going to get killed, they're going to get destroyed by Oregon. And it's like, guys, you've been saying that every game. So are you going to hit eventually? Maybe, maybe not. But I'm like, let's not rule out what they've done as a team. They are missing Hunter, so that I think that hurts them more on defense than it does offense. But it kind of hurts them a lot. So we'll see if they can overcome that. But here we go, another good game coming up.
I just want to throw out, don't forget about Washington, my friends, and Michael Penn.
Oh, with the penis guy, yeah.
You know.
All right, moving on. Again,
Colorado was on our schedule.
You guys
are we not?
I don't think so. That would be awesome. I hope so, because
college football CF Bell.
Yeah, and NCAA. Yeah.
Anyway, comment below. Let us know what you think. We're going to move on to some running backs. 2 in particular. We're going to talk about Saquon Barkley, G-Man, Jessica. We're first going to start with Chubb. If you didn't see it, please don't Google it. Just trust us when it was very horrific. This would be the example where I would say should have took your money, because Chubb was being the nice guy, playing out his contract, going to hopefully get another big year so he could get a big payday. And he screwed himself, because it is not, in my opinion, he's done. He is done.
Did you guys hear it?
Oh, God, no, I didn't hear it.
I feel like I heard it in person.
Ooh, graphic. I mean, you guys all think, yeah, can he come back? But, oh, my goodness.
28, I think, right?
28.
There's a possibility, but that's pretty much ancient for a running back.
His days as a number 1 are over. He might come back as a flex back or a third down back, but he's not going to have. Because that's what makes running backs so great, is their ability to cut and weave and turn on a dime and push their legs through huge piles of giant men. Yeah, it's just like a leg that's broken in half can't do that shit anymore.
Let's put ourselves in his shoes for a second. Jess, I want you to be the first to respond to this. I remember when Earl Thomas was negotiating a contract and just was playing out his contract. He broke his leg, was carted off, flipped off Pete Carroll. And it's like, dude, I'm one part of it, but like it's a business, I can't be like, because I love you, I'm just going to give you the contract that you want and deserve. But like, what do you think is going through Nick Chubb's head right now? I mean, is he frustrated with the organization? Is he taking it on himself? Or, I mean, what are your thoughts?
Demon.
I mean, my thoughts on that are he's probably just still in shock. And um, the thing I wanted to talk about was and it's the running back market based off this. So what happens is the man like Nick Chubb averaging 6.1 yards a carry this season, and going to have a career year. Um, his backup comes in and rushes for 100 and some yards, receives for another 40. Like, okay, what's going on here? And this is the huge problem with running back market is look at it. I mean, will it be sustainable over the year? Time will tell. But if someone like you're not invested in or is on a rookie contract from whatever round Jerome Ford was drafted, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, I don't know.
Yes.
Um, you're looking at the running back position, maybe even just completely turning into a positionless football, and so hopefully everybody can kind of get paid the same because you're gonna have to do it all if you want to get paid.
Yeah, dude, when you look at that, there are definitely standout backs across the league, and Saquon is one of them. But here's the thing: if every year you go in, or every other year even, and you draft somebody in the second, third, or fourth round and just run with them, if you invest the money in the line, which is double protects your quarterback and your running back, then you can probably sustain the running back position either by
Maybe.
multiple players or just a couple decent guys for cheap. So, I mean, yeah, that's a really good point.
Derrick Henry's watching this show and saying, "Fuck you guys! It's a one-man wrecking crew back here." Yeah, I mean, I'm with you guys. It's kind of like one of those things where they can keep talking and telling us how much they need to get paid, but then I'm going to say like G-Man Jet. That's a perfect point. Like the next man up, and most of the time in a running back, if you have a good line and they open up holes. Come on, you're a professional. You run through the freaking hole. Granted, yeah, we know there's outliers, but again, we're all on the same page. Speaking of that,
well, yeah, I was just gonna say, I mean, I feel like you guys stole my homework this week because, yeah, literally, I was just gonna say, like, why give a new contract to a running back at all? And I'm talking about Aaron Jones is the best player on our offense, and it's just like, why not just go and draft another rookie? I mean, it's just like literally, there is no longevity in that position. So I mean, yeah, even Derrick Henry's running out of gas. It's like, what is Tennessee's offense going to do when he's out of it?
And on top of that, you add a franchise like they did to Saquon, you get that rookie year, another year with a franchise them again if they're that good, and it's still only $12 million. Like, even if they're the best in the league, you can still get them for 2 years for $22 million, and then move on because now they've got another 600-700 touches on their body. So bad
right, and then
situation.
like we said last week, like a lot of teams do, you just run to the ground. I'm going to give Saquon 300 carries this year because this is his last year with us. I mean,
why wouldn't you too?
Yeah,
it's also game theory. If Saquon gets 3 yards every time he touches the ball, why the fuck would you take it out of his hands?
Right.
New England Patriots or Seahawks in the Super Bowl.
I mean, you look at the situation. Yeah, you look at the situation with Saquon, and it's like this almost has to be a ploy to just make sure San Francisco's preparing for Saquon. I mean, the injury just happened Sunday. It looked like he couldn't even, step on it. The guy is on a franchise contract. Are you trying to prove that you're a baller and you're going to play through this injury so you get more money, or are you going to blow your ankle out worse possibly or hurt something else?
Right.
Ankle. Like, I mean, it's a glitch. Double-edged sword.
You're fine.
It's a double-edged sword. So I don't know. I mean, Saquon I would think would take the day off and come back next Monday night against Dame's Seahawks. Dames, what do you think?
Uh, Looking forward to that game. I certainly don't want to play against a half-assed version of that team. I want the full tilt. That's what I get up for. So I hope he's back.
Right, and I think maybe the reason he is coming back, or maybe he can be back, maybe it just looked worse than it was. You know what I mean? Maybe on the field he was like, "Holy shit, this hurt." Got off the field, iced it. Got the next day, a couple days, and he's like, "Oh, actually, it's not that bad." I mean, that does happen, I'm sure. I mean, they're sleeping in these chambers that healed them overnight anyway. So all right. Anyway, enough about this running back market. We've chatted on it a while. We're going to move on to a rookie quarterback who actually started the game very well this week, but then got concussed. Anthony Richardson. Dames, you want to start this one off for the guy who,
Yeah, dude. I know a lot of people that wanted Seattle to draft this kid, and I was not very high on this quarterback class this year. And because I saw other needs. We'll get into that with the rest of the Seahawks stuff I got today, but he looks good, dude. He's huge.
He's huge.
But he needs to learn that he is not a running back.
Yeah. Slide, dude. Get down.
Exactly. He hasn't finished a game yet, but despite that, he has looked like the best quarterback in this class. So I hope that he's all right. I hope he's able to play.
Yep, I agree. I do want to mention one thing on this. I do think this is kind of just a off tangent. I love how when he gets hit, they call down, say, "Oh, actually, you need to take him out because he might have got concussed." But literally, I'm watching like 4 other games this weekend. People just get drilled across the middle, helmet to helmet. They throw the flag. Neither of those players get off the field for concussion protocol. So the guy who just literally gets fucking knocked out, flag called, he can go back to the huddle. He's fine. But Richardson, who gets concussed, comes back in, he's playing, and then they go, "Oh no, he needs to come out." So I feel like they need to have there needs to be a better system. You can't just say randomly, because you could fuck a team. I mean, if they would have took him out and they would have lost that game, you would have been like, "That's bullshit," but they're just taking him out. I mean, I get it, safety, but then are we being safe? Because I'm pretty sure if Tom Brady got helmet, he didn't get taken out. Am I wrong? NFHell? Am I wrong?
How do you even begin to address this? Because let's say we're in the 4th quarter of a playoff game, it's tied, somebody hit and they're fine, but just because of a rule, they have to sit out a series or something. That's
right, but that's where I'm at too. I mean, I feel like there has to be consistency whether they're going to say they're taking them out of it. They at least have to check them, right? Like if they look like they get concussed, they should have to at least come out and get checked, in my opinion. Like, right? Because then you have a guy upstairs who's a Niners fan, and then he's playing the Seahawks, and he's like, "Oh, Gino looks like he got concussed. You better get him out of there." I mean, I don't know. I'm saying I don't know what they would do. Like, how do they do it?
Should just go to a commercial timeout and give everyone a break, and then see, evaluate them.
13 breaks in the game. Go, we got any thoughts on this?
I do. Yeah, I was gonna say, you can skip me for another section here, buddy. All right,
let's I'm not skipping you.
You did.
It's intentional.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
You talked about Aaron Jones. You talked about the running backs, bro.
I didn't talk about Saquon.
No one. I mean, we only need to hear from G-Man Jazz. Come on,
that's fine. Anyways, yeah, no, I was gonna say there's a learning curve for a lot of these quarterbacks coming out of college, especially ones who are highly successful in college. I hate to make this comparison because Richardson's a much better quarterback, but Tim Tebow literally was just a big, hefty dude, very athletic in college, and he ran over people. And he tried that in the NFL, and Derek Brooks, I think, broke his collarbone on the first play. So, yeah, Anthony Richardson, yeah, dude, you gotta stop taking those big hits from the NFL. It's the big league, son. You're not gonna last if you keep doing that.
Right. I think we kind of all are agreeing on that. I'm going to switch into the other quarterback we were going to talk about today, moving on from Richardson, but the richest man in the league now, Patty Mahomes, getting paid, restructured, got a bunch of money up front. Next year he's getting how much, James?
$53 million a year.
$53 million a year.
All guaranteed.
Ooh, Now, do you think that was in response to Burrow getting the most, and they're like, okay, I need to be?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
yeah, it's just like a.
It was that, and they had to clear up their overdraft for Jones.
Yep. So here we go, quarterback.
Maybe they should have kept Burrow making the most because they were 0-2. So now he'll probably come out this week and light it up because he doesn't have that pressure being there.
Yeah, I'm not the highest paid.
He'll win a game. I need to restructure.
Mm-hmm.
Right, like Lamar Jackson, you're gonna restructure now? Okay. Anyway. Last but not least, on our little news section, we do want to send some love, some thoughts, whatever it is that you would like to send out as well. A Patriots fan in last night's game was in an altercation with a piece of shit Dolphins fan, got into a fight, and the Patriots fan passed away today. We don't know all the details. We don't want to say one way or the other, but hey guys, it's a game, okay? We live in it. I'm a fucking NFHell Jets fan, and I don't get in fights. Patriots fans, you've won Super Bowls. Dolphins, you were the undefeated. Come on. It's a game. So, again, love sent out to that family, to Patriots Nation. God, for me to say that,
They lost a 30-season ticket holder.
Yeah.
About a year.
Dang. So
Keep your hands to yourselves, folks.
Yeah, keep your hands to
Just
yourself.
don't punch somebody in a stadium.
I was just to say, yeah, just don't punch people. Just
Just-
the lesson here.
I feel like it doesn't mean anything coming from you because I've been at Lambeau and those people are like,
them's fighting.
we're sorry the game wasn't better. Like the dudes are like, it's all right, buddy, you'll get us next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never actually been to Lambeau. I've just been to the Broncos Stadium where several people try to fight me.
Oh, that's the AFC West. Really.
Yeah. All right, this will move us on. Again, you can take your little bookmark here. We're going to move on to Let's Tell the Truth about our 4 teams that we have been following for our entire lives. Jets, Giants, Seahawks, Go Pack Go. Gobo, we're going to start with you this week on Let's Tell the Truth.
Well, I got a juicy one today, and it's a small thing, but I'll tell you what. I got to watch the Packers' first loss of the season. More than likely won't be their last, and we had a chance to win it. 50 seconds left, no timeouts, down by 1 point. And then I saw Jordan Love kind of crumble under the pressure. And what I'm going to tell the truth about is for a brief moment, I missed Aaron Rodgers for the first time. And I've been saying, man, I wanted him gone. We had the whole episode last week was basically dedicated to what happened to him. And you know what? 50 seconds left, no timeouts, on the road in a very loud Atlanta. Aaron Rodgers gets that win. And so, I had to eat a little crow as well as I guess a little falcon as well.
Same thing.
Wow, same.
Dirty birds. The dirty birds.
They're all birds are disgusting.
You're right though, dude. Aaron Rodgers wins that game, and I'm not even worried if I'm not even
right.
worried about it.
Right.
Yeah.
I got to experience the 2-minute drill worry for the first time since Aaron Rodgers joined the team.
Well, I'll make a correction. He gets you in field goal range so that Crosby could either win it or lose it.
Oh, we got a new kicker this year.
Whatever his fucking name. Who cares? Rodgers gets you in position to win.
Right.
Crosby's a free
Rodgers
agent.
wins the game. Rodgers gets us the W.
Yep, I'm with you on that. So I'll go next because I'm going to say we're ready to me because I'm also going to say the same thing Gobo said, except for the Jets. God damn it, I miss Aaron Rodgers. The whole shock of it the first week just got me in whatever, and then I was all, everything's going to be fine with Zach Wilson because I was like high on adrenaline still. The defense was so good. We did win the game, and then we went into Dallas, and now, was he on the field hardly? No. Because our defense couldn't get off the field. But when he had to make a play, when it was, like you said, crunch time at the end of the game, Zach Wilson was trying to shove footballs into triple coverage, double coverage, squeezing it where he wants. Where if we have Aaron Rodgers, I'm with you. Am I thinking maybe that we're for sure going to win that? No, but at least he's going to get us some plays down the field get rid of the ball quicker, and not get, hit by Parsons. So I'm going to go into week 4, I should say, 3, 4, whatever week we're in already. And I'm going to still be missing Aaron Rodgers. That's my truth for at least, this week moving forward. Games Marvs, Seahawks
I
truth.
don't think your truth is missing something that you never had. Like,
He had a whole offseason of expectation, though.
I guess you did have
Hard knocks, dude.
hard knocks.
It's like ordering a
Plays.
pizza, and then as soon as the delivery driver walks away, you drop it on the like you hit it on the door and drop it into the bush.
And face down with the cheese on
called hard
Still, yeah, you still wanted that pizza.
it. Yeah, I still wanted the pizza.
We still wanted the pizza.
We got 4 plays of pizza.
It was like this, James.
Yeah.
Got you.
So, all right. There's 2 things I want to mention here on my truth. The first one is, we are a deep team, and I went into this game thinking we got 2 backup tackles, and they did nothing against the Rams. The Rams are good. I mean, they proved that again this week. But we're a deep team. That's my first truth. My second truth is something I want to address based on the comments this week. And somebody brought up what I've been bringing up all along and what a lot of Seattle fans have been bringing up. We had the 5th pick of the draft, and we did not draft Jalen Carter, who was arguably the strongest need of our team. And certainly week 1, 5% of the dropbacks were pressured. 5%. All right. So clearly it's an issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm gonna back these fans up a little bit, because this week we got to actually see our number 5 pick in action, Devin Witherspoon. And he got torched on a flea flicker, which if you're in the NFL, the first time you see a flea flicker, that's understandable. He should have had safety help. It wasn't there. He got torched. However, the dude broke up 2 4th down plays, which I consider that a turnover. I mean, they don't consider that a turnover in the NFL, but if you're stopping them twice on 4th down, you're making impact. He was all over the field, and I just think this kid is the real deal. So to hell with Jalen Carter. I don't ever want to hear the name again. But I mean, I realize it's only 1 week, but let's just watch this kid and be glad that we got him, because Pete Carroll said, I picked him because I saw Troy Polamalu 2.0.
Wow, those are some bold. That's a bold statement.
That's a bold assessment.
That's a bold statement.
I know. And
That's
I'm like,
head and shoulders above what I
Don't
would say.
make him feel like he has to live up to that, because that's potentially like, if you took those numbers, he's Hall of Famer 2 times over.
Mhm.
Like, that's how good Troy Polamalu was.
Oh yeah.
So, my truth is, shut up about Jalen Carter. We got the guy that we need. So,
All right. Seahawks truth. G-Man Jass. Last but not least, let's tell the truth about the Giants this week.
Guys, it's pretty simple. The truth is, DJ is worth $40 million.
Oh my fucking god! I knew he was going to do it.
No interruption.
I'm sorry.
No interrupting. The truth is, since the year 2000, there are only 2 players in the NFL to ever pass for 250 yards and 2 touchdowns, run for 50 yards and another touchdown in 1/2 of 1 football game. It took 6 quarters to get into rhythm, and now it's time to go. So the truth is, no one else has done that besides Mike Vick and Vanilla Vick, Daniel Jones. No one. Did not
Okay.
forget that.
Is that, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. Continue.
Also, who is leading the entire league for quarterbacks and rushing yards this year? Vanilla Vick. strange how someone who is 1-1 and has these crazy stats isn't worth 40 million when people are making 53 million plus now. And finally, that puts him on pace for this 867 rushing yards in one season. That alone is worth 30 million. Taking the top off, the truth is I didn't overreact in week 1. The truth is, I said if we're 6-6 at our bye, we're in good shape. We're 1-1. We're in good shape. Saquon, take this week off, please. Save it for Seattle. The truth is the same. The Eagles, and now I have to put the Cowboys there. The Eagles and Cowboys, coming for you.
All right.
All right. So 2 things. With the Eagles and Cowboys in your division, how are you going to be okay at 6-6? First of all, that's my first question. Secondly, what I heard there was my quarterback didn't do shit for 6 quarters, and then he balled out for 2 quarters against the worst team in football. That's what I heard.
Tell us your truth down below. Tell us what you think about our truth.
I was gonna say,
I mean, I'm saying it's funny, but I mean it's not also false.
6-6, you only need to literally go 3-2 your last 5 games. Is why I said that. Our schedule is brutal the first 12. 6-6 is fine going into our bye week.
I feel that.
There's 5 more games. 4 teams from our division made it last year. And I'm not worried about starting 6 quarters with 0 because now, and then, we can come back. Oh, it's against Arizona. You hear that all the time. Oh, well, it's this, it's that. It's a win in the National Football League down 21 points with 2 minutes left in the third quarter. It's the biggest comeback we've ever had in a 99-year history at that point in the game. So the fact that they can do that against anyone, I don't care if it's, we thought Atlanta was garbage. Look what they did. You think Arizona's garbage, but they have some pretty good speed. They have a few good players. Are they going to win 5 games? Probably not, but there's a few other teams that might be in the running for worst team in the league.
All right.
Let's go.
So that is our truths. Again, thank you. Let us know your truth about your team. Again, these are just to be honest answers, what we think. Again, we don't give a care if you agree with this or not. We don't have to agree with you either. So
but you can certainly call us out in the comments.
Yeah, right.
If you still want Jalen Carter, come at me, bro. I'll tear you down limb from limb every week.
And if you're thinking what we're all thinking about Jass's statements about the Giants, comment, Cracker. Don't forget, also here in NFL at the end of the show, we do have Ricky coming on with Ricky's picks this week. He dominated last week. Again, gamble responsibly. Don't be dumb. Don't be like, don't be Johnny Football and just throw your money away because because Ricky's a genius. But, so again, stick around. That'll be bookmarked at the end. So picks, there they are. Again, thank you so much. Make sure you're liking, commenting, and sharing all of that good stuff here at NFL. This is the part of the show where we now dive into last week's games. We look at our predictions. We look at how we did through the standings. We look at your guys's. You guys are chiming in, letting us know. We start out Thursday night football, Minnesota at Philly, primetime Kirk Cousins. And I love looking at the sheet here, and I just see a green line across. That means we all got it right. Now, it was a little surprising. It was a little surprising how close it was, I guess. But and I think I was surprised the most. We let Philly score 34 points when I didn't really think they played that well. And I'm like, oh my God, they still scored that many points. So if they can look kind of shitty and score that many points, I think they're doing pretty well. Minnesota, I already heard them talking like, it's not that bad. We're 0-2. We're fine. We're still doing okay. I disagree. Kirk Cousins, please. Gobes?
So I honestly thought Cousins played a lot better than I thought he would have in this game. I thought he was going to spend a lot of time on his back. And then when he gets hit a lot, he starts to lose accuracy. That didn't really seem to affect him in this game. And so I think 1 or 2 plays, this could have turned the other direction. So Minnesota played well, but Yeah, dude, it's Philly. Like they're juggernauts, man. So is it time to panic in Minnesota? It's not time to panic. I don't know. I don't know. It's only been 2 games, but I mean it's a hard place to start 0-2.
Demon.
Yeah, I mean, panic button for certain parts of their team for sure. I believe Swift ran for a buck 75 or something. They just ran it at them and down their throats all game long. And I mean, it doesn't matter how good your offense is. It doesn't matter how good Cousins plays. If they can't stop anyone ever, somebody's going to stop them when they throw it, 3 yards on a 4th and 8. So Minnesota, you better start panicking because you have some holes this year that, people are going to expose.
James.
Well, guys, Philly has some injury concerns on their secondary, and I think that made Cousins look a little bit better. They lost a couple pieces from last year, and they're still trying to put it together with the young crew. I didn't think their offense was good at all, really. Jalen Hurts did not look good. Not saying he's not good. I'm just saying he didn't look the part. It doesn't look like they're going to go 11-0. I mean, these first 2 games, certainly Minnesota should have been a test after their season last year. But, yeah, I wasn't surprised at all. I was kind of bored during this game. I'm really looking forward to this Thursday's game. That's one that I want to have my eyes on. This one I was like, yeah, I don't really care who wins. I just want to see something cool happen, and not really. It was kind of boring.
Yeah.
Thing about Philly is, I've quite a few people say this, oh, they're not very good this year. They're not playing very good. It's like, okay, if they're not playing good and they're 2-0,
Wait till they do, yeah.
wait till the AB, start playing good. But see, you come off a good year like that, people study film all off season. People kind of forget that they're game planning for that all off season, and now they've had another year to look at Hurts. So it's going to take them a while to adjust to the new adjustments that are being made towards them from the previous season. But they look good, and Minnesota doesn't. So,
Yep.
See what next week brings.
Gobo traveled down to hot Atlanta this weekend. I watched some of this game too. Gobo, we'll let you go with this one first. Packers at Falcons. Let's hear it. We already touched on it a little bit.
Well, I mean, it is what it is. I will say that Atlanta is definitely a more complete team than I initially thought they were. That Bijan Robinson, man, that kid is a monster. Like you can't stop him. Once he gets going, he's 5-6 yards down the field before anybody even knows where he is. So he broke a lot of tackles. He kept Falcon drives going a lot longer than they should have been. We missed a couple opportunities to turn the ball over. We took a couple of bad penalties. Typical problems of a young team. I think the Packers played a really great game. I think it's unfortunate to take the L on this one, but they stayed in there. They persevered. They had a chance to win it at the end. So as disappointed as I was on Sunday, now that it's kind of sunk in, I don't feel as bad losing this game. I still think the Packers have potential to do, marginally okay this year, in that division, maybe make a run at it if Detroit continues to falter.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I watched a lot of this game, and I actually was kind of impressed with, I was impressed with Jordan Love. I haven't really sat down and watched. He was making good reads, and I'm going to agree with you from earlier. The last little drive, I just felt like he was all panicky, and he overthrew that guy. I mean, and he was making those throws all game. So, and he did have a couple of receivers out. Aaron Jones was out. So overall, I do think the Packers are in pretty good shape, and the Falcons are one of those teams where everybody, this Ritter kid, he played pretty well too. And yeah, Robinson, so shifty, like that one run where he shifted like 5 times in one run. He got like 14. I was like, dear God. So who did we all take here? Yeah, I took Atlanta. Dames took Green Bay. So did Gobo. Jeff took Atlanta. So it's a split. It was a split this week. James?
Yeah, Gobo. Do you want Bijan Robinson in 4 years when he's $16 million?
I think I'm good. We'll still be paying off Aaron Jones's contract.
The point remains, ladies and gentlemen. The point remains.
Right.
I mean, right now, if you drafted him, which I was not high on where they drafted him, but I mean, now they're looking brilliant because they got him on the cheap through his best years. And then what does he get after that? Is the running back position dead by then? I don't know. I don't really have much to say about this game. Gobo kind of made the only point there is to make, and that's they missed Aaron Rodgers in the clutch. However, give this kid some time because he looks the part, man. I mean, if this is the first time you've ever been in that kind of duress, I mean, maybe it's different at home and he has a completely different experience. So I
Yeah.
like the kid. I don't hate the Packers anymore. And that makes me happy.
You will.
Makes me happy.
You will soon.
That makes me happy. So yeah, that's all I have to say.
All right, G-Man.
Guys, I'll talk about the Falcons a little bit since you guys kind of covered the Packers. Been on the Falcons early in the year. They control the clock. They, time of possession is a key thing in football. Less chances for the other team means you're controlling the game. It means you're controlling the trenches. And let's not forget they have Tyler Algier. I can't remember how they say it. He's a 1,000-yard rookie from last year in year two. So both of these guys are getting a lot of snaps, a lot of touches, and they wear teams down as the game goes on. And they have a young defense. I'm not going to say they're great, but when they're fresh, because their offense is moving the ball and keeping the clock going, it helps. So I'm high on Atlanta and Green Bay. They're going to be in every game. Just kind of will come down to the Indians.
Yep. All right, moving on to New York, but Western New York, where we have the Las Vegas Raiders traveling to Buffalo. We all took Buffalo at home. We all had pretty close games. I think Gobo took a pretty good blowout, which actually was very, very close to the actual score. Because I thought the Raiders, I don't know what happened from week one. And this might be the thing where from week one to week two, we're just like, what the heck? Like the Bills, came out and we're like, okay, there's Josh Allen, there's the Bill, then the Raiders. What happened, Dames? What happened?
The Bills aren't the Broncos.
Oh,
That's the simplest way I could put it. Josh Allen's not trash. He had a bad game. I mean, and everybody has chalked that up to the loss of his coordinator or quarterback coach to New York. But he's still Josh Allen. He's still going to get it done. I mean, they're still a threat until they're not. So, yeah.
G-Man?
Yeah, and it's his second year removed from Dayball, so there's that shouldn't be a thing anymore anyway. And yeah, it's gonna be hard to ever really pick the Raiders on the road, I think, this year, but at home, depending on opponent, maybe you'll pick them a couple more times. Buffalo had to win that, and they did.
Gobo?
Yeah, I mean it was a show me game. It was like, this is where you rebound from a tough loss. I know that they probably should have won that game against New York week one. They blew it. They had to come out, show what they were made of, and the Raiders are not good. Jimmy Garoppolo is way past his prime, and like Dame said, the Broncos. I kind of like what Jazz said at the beginning of the show. The Cardinals might not be the worst team in football. Like the Broncos are terrible, the Bears are terrible. Beating the Broncos should not be a benchmark for any team, honestly. So yeah, the Raiders, I'm not sold at all.
Right, agreed. All right, moving on. Baltimore, Cincinnati. Everybody except for myself thought Joe Burrow would have a pickup game where he would come back and show everyone how amazing he is, and he did. I mean, it was a good game, but it fell short. Lamar, the Ravens. What was the final? 27-24. I think the score's a lot closer than the game was. I felt like every time I looked at it, I was like, oh, Baltimore.
I had 28-24, only the wrong way.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So, G-Man, we'll start with you on this one.
Yeah, I don't think Burrow really looked that good actually. Threw a pick in the red zone, I believe, in the end zone, and he just kind of floated it up there like, "Oh, hey, here I am," and it wasn't very good at all. And we got Baltimore is 2-0 winning a road road game against usually a powerhouse in the AFC. So Baltimore's rolling. Cincinnati, they will rebound this week. So be on the lookout for that here coming up.
James.
I thought Burrow looked terrible. Lamar looked really good. That's the story. That's the tale of the tape. I mean, Cincinnati couldn't get anything done early, which is a shame because this is a division game at home. You're gonna have to play them again at their building now, and
Right.
they got your number this time. So,
Gobo.
Yeah, I mean, another thing, we talked about Vikings fans. I mean, Bengals fans, it might start to be time to panic here because you went from the elite of the AFC, you're 0-2, both division losses, and like you weren't really in either of those games. Like I think Joe Burrow is more injured than they are saying, and I think that they're putting him on the field because they gave him so much money and they got to get their money's worth. Like his heart's not in it. Cincinnati's got some problems on defense. Like guys, if they don't get their shit together, the Bengals could miss the playoffs. So if I'm
Right.
Jet, I'm dancing right now because this could be the Jets opening.
Right. Cincinnati is like one of those teams where it's like, and I think Burrow actually, I mean, if I'm not wrong, might not even be playing this week because of that calf muscle. So I'm almost certain that you're correct on that. He's fine. He's going to be back. And he kind of got through it the first. Yeah. I mean, again, I don't think they're telling us the whole story. Dames,
yes, sir.
Seattle going into Detroit. And let me look here. Detroit.
Yeah,
All of us missed this game, but we're going to let you start.
Yes,
NFL.
this is the first time in the history of the show that I picked against Seattle, and of course, it didn't hurt as much, or maybe it hurts more. I don't know. I mean, I don't really care about my win or loss. I'm just trying to have fun on the show, but we'll get more competitive as time goes. I think I was down 18 games at one point, and I came back and won last year, so I'm not really worried about it.
Oh, but you're not really. You're just here
Not
for
really.
fun. It's
I'm not
not
really worried
competitive.
I'll get
Yeah.
more serious about it as time goes
Yeah,
on. But here's the thing, you guys. Coming into this game, I just thought after watching the second half, after our tackles went out against the Rams, I was like, there's no way we're going to keep Aiden Hutchinson at bay. There's no way. Guy's name did not get called once. These two guys just dominated the line, man. And Gino pitched a perfect game. He made one stupid mistake, which is a 17-yard sack. He pulled a Russell Wilson. He ran around and then fell down at the 5-yard line. And it was at a crucial time in the game, right? We should never have been in the position to be in overtime because our stupid kicker missed 2 kicks that he should make, period. But Drew Lock comes in, calls tails. Tails never fails. We get the ball first. Gino leads us down the field. And this is another thing, Seahawk fans. You dumb sons of bitches. I'm sorry, you're not. I mean, if you're a Gino hater, all right? If you're a Gino hater, wake up. This guy is not the guy that 10 years ago threw 21 interceptions in a season. He's not that guy. All right? There's a couple times where he just chucked the ball away because that's the smart thing to do. If he doesn't, if you get those 2 or 3 back, he's over 80% completions. Like probably 85. That's ridiculous.
Right. I'm telling you, he was a Jet, so I would take him out of my phone.
Tyler Lockett is a weapon. And everybody talks about DK Metcalf. People are starting to talk about Jackson Smith and Jigba. But Tyler Lockett gets left out. And it's ridiculous. I don't know if it's because he's small. The guy is just wicked, man. And
Quiet.
he's a baller. So, yeah, I'm sad that I picked against our team, and I won't do it again. I'm not going to say that because I might. But here's the thing. Like, that was an awesome win. And it went as much as last year's game. I think last year's game was 45-42. And it was 37-31 in overtime. And I don't know. You're onward.
Right, and I really think it helps Gobo, I would say, that division too, because now we're kind of like, yeah, the Lions, oh, look at this hype. Now they come in. They're 1-1. The Packers are they're tied for, you're right in it already.
There's
So
one
it's
more
kind
thing I
of
need to touch on if you
yeah,
don't.
yeah. I don't.
So Pete Carroll says that it was his fault that we lost week 1 because he had everybody too hyped for the first game, and it was more about fun than it was anything else. And this week they went through Monday and Tuesday of practice, and everybody was miserable. And Pete couldn't get them back on schedule. And Bobby Wagner grabbed everybody before practice on Wednesday, and he like snapped their necks around. And he's like, Pete's like, from that conversation on, it was a different team. And he's like, that is when we began this win on Sunday, was Wednesday. And I only wanted to bring that back in here because I'm going to bring it up again later. Thank you for letting me do that.
Yeah, no problemo. Gobo, your thoughts on this game? Anything you need to add?
Yeah, I mean, never would have seen it coming. I mean, this is kind of, we talk about the romanticism of sports, the kind of like, you never actually know what's going to happen any given Sunday type shit. Yeah. With those 2 tackles out, I was 100%. I would have put $100 on the Lions. No problem. Even Dame's a lifelong Seahawks fan, bet against them. I mean, yeah, there's no logistical reason. The Seahawks should have won this game, but they pulled it out. Geno, he did what he needed to do. Seahawks defense looked all right. And then the Lions looked kind of stale. I was like, the defense was so tenacious week 1. And then like, what are they doing? Geno's got, 9, 10, 11 seconds to throw the ball. Yeah. He's with that many weapons in the receiver core. Yeah. He's going to figure it out. So honestly, like it gives me hope, maybe false hope. I was planning on picking the Lions against the Packers in week 4. But I don't know anymore. I feel good not being afraid of the Lions anymore.
G-Man, anything to add to this combo?
No, just bet responsibly, Gobo. That's why we don't throw $100 bets out because it's the NFL and
I didn't say 1,000.
no, 100.
Hundreds. Yeah, that's fun.
Okay, yeah. Those are fine.
Money.
But no, I don't have much to add other than Jamal Williams got hurt, I believe. So the rookie Gibbs will be the main back here, at least for a couple weeks, it sounds.
He's a stud, though. I mean,
See what he's got. Yeah, but it's go time.
Go time. All right, we move down to Houston, where we kind of spoke about this at the beginning of the show. Richardson went down to Houston. If you watched the game, I believe he had the first 2 touchdowns, both rushing, the little rollout thing. Got him off to a huge start. Got concussed it was on the run. He got tackled in the end zone, came back to his head. And then they put in old Gardner Minshew. And he came out and just kind of, I felt like just kept controlling the game. And I thought Houston at home in a division, like I just felt like, wow. We were all talking kind of like how this year so I feel like Indy went down there and kind of just willed their way and dominated this game. Every time I looked, they were up pretty big and they ended up closing that out. What was the final? 31-20. Gobo and I picked the correct score. You two, what should I call it? You guys picked Houston? Really? Houston? G-Man, you took Houston in this game, bro?
Yeah, looking back, obviously I may have made a different choice, but I was kind of surprised that it didn't matter who was in at quarterback for the Colts, they were going to win that game. I think Stroud looked okay at the end of the game, so maybe Houston for NFL purposes, you can carry that into next week and do something. But a battle of 2 teams that going to be struggling all season long, I think.
Names.
All right. I was very critical of this year's quarterback crop. And we had 2 of them in this game. And of course, I'm going to give the nod to the first pick of the draft. I mean, why wouldn't I? I mean, seriously. So, and if look at his numbers, he is in the top 5 right now.
Right.
It's not translating to anything because the rest of the team is garbage. They may have found a guy. They may have found their guy. And I hope that's the case. That said, they still suck and they're not fun to watch. Indianapolis is a team I came into this season giving zero fucks about. And now I find myself switching to their game to watch Richardson play because he's fucking dynamic, dude. He's got some shit about him that's just like, I'm like, he's huge. He's rough and tough and rumbling, stumbling, but like, stay alive, dude.
Yes.
Finish a fucking game.
For 2. Finish it.
I thought they weren't going to be competitive in any games this year. And I'm wrong. And he's a big reason why. I mean, they got some other pieces, obviously. It's not just one dude, but he's the one to me that looks the most NFL ready. And that's not taken away from CJ Stroud because again, he did look good. But
right. CJ Stroud might be getting some of these yards, garbage time when they're down. Defenses are probably playing a little soft. Anyway, Gobo, you want to add to this game? Add to what we got to say?
I mean, there's not much to say. The Texans suck. I mean, I think I understand what Dames is saying. It's just like it's the same mentality that that Jacksonville had when they drafted Trevor Lawrence. It's like, yeah, we're going to be terrible for 2 seasons intentionally, and then we'll start rebuilding. And it's like that model's like sort of working in Jacksonville. Time will tell. I mean, if I'm correct, like I think I am, I think that they're going to win a lot of games. But yeah, as of right now, I heard there's a GIF online where this like high school coach he's talking to. He's like, yeah, I got 11 problems on offense and 11 problems on defense when he's talking to the press. And that's Houston right now, man. They're no fun to watch. They're just bad. They're bad football. And DeForest Buckner went out and ate, like I said he was going to. So the Colts, they're bad, but they got a couple of dynamic defensive playmakers. And yeah, Richardson, if he can, not get another brain aneurysm this year, like that would be good.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Colts aren't a threat to anybody except for, shithole Houston.
Yep. All right, moving on to the team you were just talking about. Dane, you want to say one more thing about this game?
You guys. Imagine Houston sucks enough to get the first pick of the draft, and they don't need Caleb Williams. You imagine the haul that they could get for that? Holy shit.
And then Caleb Williams could be like, yo, this team, I want you to come up and get me. That's who I want to play for. So
and then they'd be like, yes, you can have our guy.
Well, yeah, Caleb's already said he's not joining the draft unless the right team picks him.
Right.
Don't beat the Jets. That would be NFL. I'm telling you right now, the Jets will probably do that. We'll just give up the farm and we'll go. Okay. Anyway, comment below, subscribe, do all those things. Share this out. We need people on here not because we need you. We just want to hear what you think about our opinions, what your picks are, what your record is. This is all fun and games, and also Ricky's picks. Maybe you are winning money. Tell us how much money you're banking because you're copying his bets. We're going to speak about Big Dick Lawrence here. I know Gobo just touched on it. Question mark?
Touched on his big dick.
I touched on the big dick.
Yeah, he did. He mentioned it took a couple years for it, and now here it is. It's a ride.
I wish I never said this, by the way.
But you did. And we have the footage.
We can go back and make a short and put it on TikTok of you saying you love Big Dick Lawrence. So, Dames,
yes,
what happened to your boy?
No.
At home, Chiefs came to town.
They didn't play anywhere near good enough. I mean, defense wasn't really the problem. They couldn't score a touchdown to save their lives, and that's what happened. I mean, you got, what's that receiver? Ridley?
Yep.
Disappeared.
And what happened to him?
After a week 1 explosion, just completely disappeared. Am I worried? No. This is a game that you should lose, maybe, on your way to beating up on your division for 8 games or 6 games. But I'm not surprised. I wish they would have won. That's all.
Right. And I'm going to say I think Chris Jones was a bigger factor than I personally thought like he was going to be. I thought he'd come in, maybe play a little bit, but I feel like he was all over the place. I feel like that's the reason that Jacksonville only scored 9 points. He was back there all the time, disrupting it. Lawrence really never got in rhythm, like you said. Their number 1 receiver had no catches, hardly. Their running game was I just felt like Kansas City didn't really also have to do a whole lot because of their defense, which is a strange thing. If Kansas City only scores 17 points and they win, you're like, wow. So I was pretty impressed with that regard for Kansas City. Gobo?
Yeah, honestly, I predicted this that Mahomes wasn't going to lose the first 2 games of the season. Honestly, I don't think this really says much about Jacksonville as a team. I think that this is a hard game against a good opponent. They're probably going to lose to the Chiefs in the playoffs or something like that. I still think that Jacksonville is still destined for great things. Still win that division outright. Still get the bye. It was just Chris Jones. I mean, he was the missing piece week 1, and the Chiefs are still the Chiefs are who we thought they were.
G-Man.
Yeah, Gobes, for Jacksonville to be the 1 seed. Now they got to jump 2 games over Kansas City, so they're probably going to be hoping for that 2nd seed now at best case, just because of that tiebreaker. But what a low scoring game when I was hoping for a shootout. So Chris Jones, big difference, and I don't know. It's confused by the low scoring game and don't have a lot to add. Fuck low scoring games.
Right. All right, we're gonna go down to Florida next, where we had the Bears going down to Tampa Bay. By the way, if you're wondering what order we're doing these games in, we just go to NFL.com and literally go down. That way you can follow along at home.
We were already in Florida.
Oh my God, we just had to travel over. You're right. We were already there. We came over. Todd Bowles' defense, once again, Coach Bowles with a Baker Mayfield-led team wins at home against a shitty Bears team. And I want to start this because, again, Fields, I want to go back to the footage from last year. I'm just going to go – I want you to get all mine together and say every week when I say, I hate Justin Fields. He's a piece of shit. He can't throw the ball. Once these defenses start picking him, keeping him in the pocket, making him throw, good luck. Because you're not going to run yourself into victories. Okay, running is it's one of those things, I think, where it's second to passing. So if you can't pass, who gives a shit if you can run? Because now they're just going to come up and make you pass. So I think Tampa Bay, especially Bulls, defensive mind, and you're going to face defensive-minded coaches the rest of the way this year in that. You're going to lose a lot of games because they have Justin Fields figured out. Go, but this is your division. What do you guys say about it?
Yeah, I mean, it's I don't want to reuse the same quote from the last game we discussed, but yeah, the Bears are bad. And I hear it from optimistic Bears fans every week. Justin Fields is our guy. We got more from Carolina, blah, blah, blah. Our defense, fucking bear down. Dude, this is Justin Fields' 3rd year as a starter. His 3rd. And the Bears were in last place last year, and you didn't get better. So it's the fact that I picked them to rally against Tampa, I don't know what the hell I was thinking last week. I blame it on temporary insanity. But yeah, no, the Bears are bad. They could potentially get the first pick again this season.
I am with you on that. And then they will be taking a quarterback because Fields will be bye-bye. G-Man.
Yeah, guys, I picked the Bucks, and I'm kind of excited to see what they're going to do this week. I don't think they're that good. I think Philly goes into Tampa on primetime game, and I think we're going to get a pretty quick understanding of if that team is for real or not with the test with the Eagles. So Baker Mayfield, see what he has in prime time.
Prime time. James Mars, what do you think about this game?
I'm just going to say while Gobo's not here that the tail of the tape's still out on Justin Fields. For me. That's
okay.
it.
Oh, he's back. Okay, everybody back to your positions.
Okay. I know, I was in the other room. I think I just fucking portaled back here when I heard that said. Okay, yeah, that's fine. 3 seasons isn't enough tape. That's fine.
Well, here's what I'm wondering. If you put him on Seattle, is he still as bad as he is in Chicago?
Yep.
All right. I don't believe that, but
yeah, then Seattle will be drafting first.
There's no way. All we can do is say yes or no. I mean,
can we make a poll? Can we make a poll on here where it says I believe you can on YouTube where it's Is Justin Fields good? Yes or
Hold
no?
on. Would you rather have him than Zach Wilson?
No. No. You
Well, you
wait.
hate him already, so that's not fair. But
Yeah. This is Zach's third year as well. So
I
and
think
Zach also just played the number one defense in the
no.
league. Let's relax.
I think you're insane for saying no.
Well, Zach Wilson played the number two defense, probably the
I think
five, and now he's playing the number one.
your team right now is the kind of guy that could use like who's that schmo that won with Baltimore? Uh
Trent Dilfer,
Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco,
Dilfer. Like
Dilfer.
Flacco.
just somebody that doesn't turn the ball over, you know?
Right. Well, here's the thing. We'll get to the Jets game and we'll discuss this Zach Wilson thing here in a little bit. Again, Tampa Bay wins against the Bears. Tampa Bay surprisingly 2-0. We're gonna go down to Tennessee. This was a split again. Tennessee was taken by Gobo and Dames with the win. G-Man Jass and I took Herbie Hancock. G-Man, we're gonna let you start on this one. I'm tired of talking about Herbert. Go ahead.
You know, guys, like I feel like every time I pick the Chargers, they lose. Every time, well, I never pick Tennessee, so I guess I lose every time they win. Um, disappointment. The Chargers just let Tennessee hang around in this game, and then Tannehill finally did something. Like numerous times during the game, I was like, "This is it. He's getting benched here any series now." And then they just hung around, and then finally they managed to rip a drive together, whatever. And now he's talking like, "Yeah, I knew I was going to have a comeback game," and now the team's believing in him again. So, good coach team, good defense, but they're in hell because they know they ain't gonna win a Super Bowl. I mean, the best they're ever gonna do is squeak in and be Dundee. So Chargers get it together.
Spoilers.
Dames.
Yeah, the best chance they have this year is to be spoilers for somebody. There was no QB change at halftime, as I predicted.
You predicted we all.
That only hurts them, honestly. Start get it moving. This win means nothing because you're not going to be. I mean, I guess you're in a terrible division, but that's
again, you get a home playoff game and lose at home. I mean, that's not going to be fun.
They're not going to.
Yeah, right.
But
yeah, I know. Right?
I mean,
I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done.
I thought Jess called or Jill's called on me.
Oh, I did. I called on you, bro.
Oh, good. Okay, so I'm not losing my shit completely yet.
No, not completely.
I know. Give it another hour in the broadcast. All right, so I think that Tennessee definitely not as bad as we thought they were, and the Chargers, like honestly, like I think Miami's overhyped as well. When you look at that, like their week one performance, they put up a lot of points. Justin Herbert is tremendously talented. I think that everybody else on the Chargers is way past their prime. I think that they're just like they're in a bad division, so their record is not going to reflect how many problems they actually have on that team.
Yep. I'm with you on that. I just feel like again every week or every year now it's like Herbert's going to be so good. Yeah, maybe he does okay, but then this defense was like, what happened?
You're getting gashed by
Bosa, Derwin. They have Darwin. Like, how can you not be good? Coaching maybe. Did you new coach? Maybe they fired their coach already. Maybe that's the problem.
Can't be a good defense. They're too old.
Yeah, true.
Just too old. Yeah, Joey Bosa just lived off the name Bosa, but he's always hurt. It's like, dude, I mean, Nick, you're a beast, but Joey, what does he have? One or two pretty good years, but he's always been hurt.
Yep. All right.
And now he's old.
I'm gonna set the timer here. I'm gonna go grab a pizza. We're gonna go down to Arizona where G-Man Jass is gonna ramble on about the Giants. Huge come from behind win. G-Man Jass, take it over. Floor is yours.
Guys, I'm going to try to refrain from talking about Daniel Jones since I already have done that. What I'm going to talk about is a lot of other things. All right. 99 years of New York Giant football, and never have they been behind this late in the game to come back and win, regardless of opponent. That's happened now. They've been to 5 times as many Super Bowls as times that they've done this. So I think it's a pretty cool thing. It should be a great Kickstarter for the team. You can, like I said, The Dallas game was just a flush down the toilet. The weather, the prime time, just blackout. We didn't know what was going on. Cool. Week 2, first half. Oh, let's kind of figure out what's going on in defense. Let's look at what's the situation. All right, we're down 20-0. Halftime, cool. All right, let's come out. Now we figured it out. We have this guy by the name of Jalen fucking Hyatt. Okay. The game is now completely changed. The film's out there, and it's either Waller or Hyatt. Pick your poison. When you double down on Waller, no one is going to catch up and keeps pace with Hyatt one-on-one. It's not even close. Our offense is going to be hard to stop starting Thursday night. And yes, it's against a really good team. All right. So obviously I'm ecstatic. Not worried about anything. Week 2, week 3, 4, 5. This is when we start understanding what teams really are. The first couple weeks, there's all kinds of stupid shit going on every single year. 3, 4, 5, 6. You want your team to be winning or in all these games and showing that they can compete with the best teams in the league. So, Arizona, Dobbs looked good for a half, and their defense looked good for a half, I guess, but they're in for a long season. But I'm not ready yet to label them the worst NFL team. Not yet.
Right.
Giants 1-1.
And I would say to add to this game, because again, we all did pick the Giants. Obviously, we didn't pick it to be this close. We've had some pretty big margins there. I'm just going to say it was basically literally a tale of two halves. Like, I don't, what was Arizona doing if they're up that big in the second half, coming out and just doing the complete opposite, like, or not adjusting at all. And then the Giants just come out and are a completely different team as well. So I would say good adjustments. So I don't know who the Giants are either, I would say, from week 1 to week 2. So I'm also looking forward. I know it's a tough Thursday night game they got coming up, but I mean, if they come out and start like they did against both teams this week, if they start out week 3 like that, they will lose this game. So I wasn't surprised that they came back and won. I mean, was it surprising during the game that they were getting destroyed? And I was like, what is going on? And then as they came back, you kind of just felt like, yeah, they're going to come back and win this because Arizona sucks. So, and they did. So that part really wasn't a shock to me. Gobo.
I think I'm going to be frank here. The fucking Giants defense is trash, man. Like, you guys got some dynamic playmakers. I like that rookie receiver, the guy from Tennessee, the one you were talking about. Losing Saquon, I mean, it sucks, but, running back health is what it is. I have Saquon on one of my fantasy teams, so I'm commiserating with you there. But here's the thing. Like, Arizona, they don't really have a functional offense, and they put up, 21 points on you in one half? Like, and that if that's not like a huge panic mode for a team that was 21 in the first half, right?
There was a defensive touchdown.
There was okay, cool. So even 14. So it's like, and so what is that? 3 defensive touchdowns at your offense. So it's like, so you got problems all over the field, man. Like, I honestly, I mean, I could be wrong. I love you, Jazz. So I hope that I'm wrong. But
hey,
it's gonna be a massacre on Thursday, bro.
We just worked the kinks out, man. It just took 6 quarters. It's all good.
I would love to believe that, but I think I owe our viewing public the truth. And the truth is stay the hell away from the big blue.
Stay away from the
Danes. Pretty big spread already.
Here's the thing. This is what I love about Jazz. He's unwavering, dude.
He really is.
No, we got this. We got this shit figured out. And I respect that because I collectively shit my pants after we lost to the Rams, and I was like, "We're done. I'm
week 1, we're done.
I'm not picking us again this year." And then Pete Carroll pulls them out. But here's the deal, you guys. Like, Arizona had no business being in that game, and they knew it. And I think they took it personal, and they just took it to them for a half. And then they realized they were Arizona, and the Giants were like, "What? I would not have wanted to been in that locker room at halftime. I can't even imagine.
But you got to remember, we also had two linemen out, and our left tackle, all pro left tackle, was out. So I mean, I was ecstatic to see them even block decently. Obviously coming off that Cowboys game where no one could block anything. To have two backups in, and we actually looked pretty adequate. I was like, all right, we'll be fine. So enough about the Giants. Anybody else got anything?
I'm over it.
Nope. We are over that game. All right.
I was
Going.
thinking the third quarter. I was like, "Is Jess alive?"
Yeah.
I know. I was thinking about coming and checking on you. I was like, "There's no way they blow this fucking game."
It's like, "You all right, buddy?"
I know. He was downstairs at my house watching the game. I go down and just sitting there. I'm just like, what is happening? What is happening? All right,
Like
Sam.
I finally got to come upstairs to say, I got a first down or whatever. I mean, it was like hours, it felt like, into the game before I could even go up and say like anything cool happened.
The literal little Giants. Second.
Comment down below. Tell us your thoughts. Comment on G-Man Jass's. I mean, we know there's a few fans out there that are definitely going to comment against that. So make sure you guys are commenting, sharing our stuff. We appreciate all of you. Let's move now, like I said, to the Rams. San Francisco wins a close one. I'm going to say I'm a little surprised. I do think maybe the Rams are a little better than – no, Dames? Yeah?
I'm not surprised.
Oh, you're not surprised.
I'm not surprised at all they went there and fucking put up a fight. That kid, that rookie wide receiver is going to be rookie of the year. He's going to be offensive rookie of the year.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking – Cup 2.0 or what do they call
it? So those
of
you that hate Cooper Kupp and are tired of hearing about Cooper Kupp, and I know that's everybody on this panel hates Cooper Kupp, hates hearing about him. You got another one.
You got
one right there. And he's a stud, dude, and I hate it. But
Yep. And I was going to say with this game is I just basically thought Christian McCaffrey was the difference maker. This would be the one running back where I'm like, yeah, that this guy needs to get paid because he's in all assets of the game all game long. He's out of the game. I feel like that will be the detriment of the 49ers. If he goes down, that actually would be a running back where I'd be like, it's going to be a lot tougher for them. They're not going to be able to plug somebody in there for that. G-Man, your thoughts?
Guys, this is why the NFL is awesome. We sit here and think, San Francisco is this insanely dominant team, which at most times they actually are. But it's not to the extent where we're talking about blowouts all the time. On the road division, you'd think the Rams would be overwhelmed by their defense and, this wouldn't happen. But to Dane's point, this guy had 15 receptions in his second game. He had 10 in his first game, most by any receiver ever through 2 games, obviously. And I think he only needs like 7 or something to break through 3 games. And as long as Kupp's out, this guy's getting 15 targets a game minimum. And the other rookie would be having a great season
if it
by
was
rookie standards. He wasn't on the same team. So
right.
Niners, I'm ready for Thursday. Rams, they're going to be decent this year.
Gobo.
I agree. I think I agree with the second part is that the Rams are much better than
we can't hear you, bro.
This is Verizon. We cannot hear you now. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Today's episode is brought to you by.
So what Gobo was saying was the Rams.
Anyways, is that better?
Yeah, there we go.
Oh my god, it worked. Okay,
He's
I
now
just
a
had
Jets
to
fan.
unplug and replug my blue snowball microphone. So anyways, like I was saying, the Rams are not as bad as we thought they were preseason. They're certainly not as bad as they were last year. I think that they're a competitive team. I think that they're going to give all manner of hell to most people they play against. I like their offense. I'm a big Sean McVay fan. I think that the dude can scheme, man. And so, but that just goes to show you how many weapons San Francisco has. They have a really stout defense. They got tons of, Debo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk. They Brock Purdy, I think, is better than a lot of people think he is. And then, Christian McCaffrey, man, Colorado's own. I love watching him play because he never takes the ball out of bounds. He never goes down when he's tackled. That kid tries to score a touchdown every time the ball grazes his fingertips. So it's like, he's so fun to watch play. His dad was the same way. He played for the Broncos.
Yep. All right.
And the Giants.
Ooh.
He did play for the Giants. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. All right, we're gonna move on to my NFL. The Jets went down to Dallas, and basically, I guess a couple of us, Gobo, he joined me in this barrage of the Jets.
They did exactly what I said they would. Another perfect pick, boys. 30-10. Jail's going to talk about it. Just thought I'd let you know. Perfect pick number 2.
Wow. I mean, does anybody else have any perfect picks down below? As anybody who's picking games, we're gonna have to chime in. Come on, we can't let G-Man Jazz have the most perfect games this year, can we? What are you? No
Really
one.
30-10.
Yeah, he picked 30-10.
Good fucking God.
Yeah. Exactly. All right. So anyway, moving on to the game. The first half, the Jets allowed, and this is why I talked about Zach Wilson, and I'm not really blaming him for this game. The Cowboys ran 50 plays in the first half. 50. The time of possession, I believe, was 42-18 at the end of the game. When our defense can't get off the field, and then let's say our offense gets out there, and maybe you get one first down, or you're in a little bit of, we're not going to run the ball because now we're already down. We're not going to be able to do this because they're going to blitz. They're pinning their ears back. And when you let a Dallas defense pin their ears back, good luck. First half, Zach looked pretty good. He made some good reads. There was a couple drops. Breece Hall, actually, I'm going to call him out on this, had a couple drops as a running back position, which would have extended a couple drives. We did both. I'm pretty sure we all saw the Garrett Wilson strike where he basically caught a 10-yard pass and took it 60 yards for a touchdown. That was pretty much our excitement. Again, my defense, which I am so proud of and think that they're really good, couldn't get off the field. So I really feel like that was the biggest problem. Like I said, you can't be on the field for that long and win any game. So I'm going to give hats off. Dallas's defense is tenacious, but I will say they played the Giants, the Jets. Now they're going to go to Arizona. So let's not reign them like the best defense of all time until they start playing a bunch of games.
Same with the Jets. But here's the thing. This is, I don't really want to talk about this game, but here's what I want to bring up to you at this point.
Okay.
You could be 0-2 right now. Zach Wilson clearly isn't the answer. Minnesota is 0-2, potentially 0-3. What are you going to do? If week 4 or 5 comes around, you guys have a Super Bowl roster. What are you going to do? Are you going
Good call.
Is Kirk Cousins an option for you?
No. Here's my thing.
Why not?
Because here's what I'm going to say. I feel like it's like this panic button. Like, oh my God, Zach Wilson came out and he looked like we lost, and it's all.
Bro, you hit the panic button last week.
But let's wait a few weeks, because last year Zach Wilson was 5-1 when our running game, Breece Hall. I'm just saying, we didn't get our running game going. We weren't on the field. This is kind of one of those games where you're like, well, no quarterback. You didn't have the ball. I mean, if Aaron Rodgers was in there, he would have had the ball 3 times, and it wouldn't have mattered because we never had the ball. Like, so again, we'll see.
I'm asking you though.
Yeah.
Right now.
I don't know.
Not into the 1-4, 1-5 range.
That's panic mode.
You're a no on Kirk Cousins?
Yeah.
Why?
Because money. I mean, do we have? That's a lot. It's like $30 million for him.
Yeah, but they're going to have to eat some of that in a trade.
1 year, for half of a year. Rodgers is going to be back.
Minnesota would eat.
Rodgers is not coming back.
January.
He's done.
He's
done.
No. I would say Aaron Rodgers is finished. I'm just saying, Minnesota's not going to retain any of Kirk Cousins' salary. There's no way.
Right.
They might to get rid of him.
I mean, are you so? My question is though. Then what do we do at the end of the? What are we doing with Kirk Cousins?
Okay, here's my thing. As an organization, the Jets cannot plan on having Aaron Rodgers next year. They have to make another plan as if he's not going to be there because the realistic everything says he's not going to be there.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
listening to him. I'm listening to reality.
All right. Okay.
He doesn't seem to live in very often.
Hey, the good thing about Kirk is he's a 1 year deal at a time, so they could just use him this year, see what happens, and then if Rodgers is healthy next year, you have Rodgers.
I mean, I guess
be worth a shot, man.
Yeah, if that
Winston's your other option, bro.
Yeah. I mean, is there any
Trey
other
Lance,
Matt Ryan. Come on, man.
Phillip Rivers?
Matt Ryan. Come on, man.
You're right.
Gobo, you got any thoughts on this? I know you at least picked the Jets with me. What do you think?
I did. I think this is a more of a statement win for the Cowboys than it is a panic mode loss for the Jets. The Cowboys are damn good, guys, and this is another reason why I think Jazz's season is just totally fucked. Is there's two, I mean, the Eagles or the Cowboys could either win a Super Bowl this year. Like they have this, like the Cowboys, they have this supercharged defense. They got Tony Pollard is moving the ball. They're calling the right plays. They're keeping possession. They're well coached. These like the Cowboys. I mean, it's hard to think of them like going to another Super Bowl just because they'll find a way to lose in the playoffs. But in the regular season, yeah, man, the Jets, like Dames has said a bunch of times, they got 4 guys on this roster that are probably Hall of Fame bound. I mean, there's no reason to lose a game by 20 points, but that's just how good Dallas is this year.
Guys, I said it. I predicted it. Zach Wilson, 3 interceptions, 5 sacks, 7 sacks. I don't know. I don't know what it was or what it is, but you may be panicking after next week because I believe it's the Belichick scheme, which was not good to him, I believe, last year. So we'll find out a lot more about the Jets offense and what they really have to do at quarterback next week. If most of us don't already know names, it's pretty ugly. And to Jail's point, Gobes, let's slow down on Dallas. We got Dak at quarterback, so I'm pretty sure there's at least 10 other quarterbacks that would beat him head to head in the Super Bowl. So, good luck with Dak, but they have great roster with a Dak.
Yep. Anything? Okay. I'm kind of done with this game because I'm over it. I'm tired of talking about the Jets losing because it's my NFHell. Anyway, let's move to Denver. I'm the only lone wolf who picked Russell Wilson and Sean Payton because I'm like, there is no way they can lose at home 2 straight weeks. This crowd is going to be crazy. Washington isn't that good. They come in. If you did see the end of the game, the Hail Mary, Sean Payton was oh my God, we got it. And then they don't get the 2 and he's just sitting there. He's just standing there.
I loved it.
I know. Yeah, and here's the thing. I picked Denver, but I also love it because I do love the Sam Howell story. I like Riverboat Ron. And I think this Washington team, even though they have the stupidest name I've ever heard in sports, they found a way to win, and they went to Denver, even though they allowed that stupid, which I can't believe. How would you allow that in my come on, man. It was tipped back. Come on, knock it down. What do you think, James? You want me in?
Well, let me throw this at you. You keep saying this every week. They're the stupidest name in all of sports. The Oakland Athletics.
Yep.
Come on, bro.
I like that. They got. That's not the command. You're literally you went from Redskins, which cringe, now to the Commanders, which what do Commanders do? They boss people around and tell people what to do. That's
after the
football team.
Commander in Chief. It's a regional name.
Yeah, that's still stupid. I don't care what it is. It's dumb. They should just be called the Washington Football Team and get it over with. Everyone likes that. Like, talk about listening to your fans. Your fans just wanted WFT, WTF, WTF.
All right.
G-Man, you're ready to go talk
I
about it.
like this team, you guys. I like them.
Denver?
No, fuck Denver.
Nobody likes Denver.
Denver. Russell Wilson is the epitome of NFL. And I every week I'm like, please say something stupid. Please lose. And he does both.
Yeah.
He does both.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's the gift that keeps on giving. Did I love him for 10 years? I guess.
You did.
I still think about all the press conferences I watched that I cringed at every time. And I don't miss that. But this was great. I loved that when that Hail Mary went through, Sean Payton was like walking on cloud 9, and then 14 seconds later he was like, fuck my life.
Yeah. I'm kind of beginning to think too, does Sean Payton even want Russell Wilson as his quarterback? I feel like he already said
this week
things where you're like, man, I don't know.
You hear what he said this week? He goes, we're having to call timeouts early in the half. I've never had to do that before. He's like, I got to get better getting the play call in. Russell's got to get better. And he goes, well, we'll armband it if we have to.
Yeah.
And if you
Not a great sign.
Last year, Russell Wilson's like, I've never needed an armband. Why would I need an armband? And I think that's a direct, like, he's finding every way to get under Russell's nuts and just fucking pinch, dude.
Yeah, until Russell wants out.
This is my favorite team to watch, like, from afar. I don't enjoy their games at all, but I'm loving this whole dynamic between these two. I think it's possible they go 0-5 to start the season, and they just cut Russell loose. At which point, that's why I kept coming back to you, and I'm like, do you want that mess?
No,
I would have Kirk Cousins at this.
I would rather have Kirk Cousins. It's weird saying this, right? And welcome to NFL. This is kind of what I feel like it would be like if you're like 2 year Broncos are getting Russell Wilson. You were like, oh my God, we're gonna go like this guy. We're going to Super Bowl. We're going to Super Bowl, and then 2 years of misery. This is like misery. Gobo, you live there. Like,
I do.
What is it like there?
It's not good. I mean, you want to talk about delusional? Denver fans make Jazz look pretty studious, honestly. Yeah, it's every time I turn on the radio, it's just like, Sean Payton's gonna turn it around. We just have to win 14 consecutive games. Like, yeah, no, it's just there's no realism in it at all. So honestly, yeah. And then to your point, there's a team called the New York Knicks that they're named after pants. So yeah, they're not the stupidest name in football. However, Broncos country, let's ride might have been the stupidest moment in pro football. So yeah, good God, the Broncos are fucking terrible this year. I sympathize with lots of my friends, coworkers, family members, other people in traffic, our weatherman, all Broncos fans, all going through the same NFL that many of us have so many times. But this is now going to be 8 consecutive losing seasons for the Denver Broncos. So I don't know what needs to change. We got a new owner. I don't know what the fuck the Broncos are going to do, but yeah, get Russell Wilson to step 1 of fixing the problem.
Yeah. G-Man, you want to add anything to this?
I'm going to shock you guys. I'm going to shock you guys here and say this. Russell Wilson is one of the top, if not the best quarterback in all of football at throwing the Hail Mary.
And with that note, let's move on to our Sunday night game, where New England was at home. Can they lose 2 in a row at home to start the season under Bill Belichick? Yes, they can. Miami comes into town. wins a close one. I feel like the Patriots in this game was very similar to the first week when they played the Eagles. It's like they hung around, they were in it, they kind of had a chance at the end. They just couldn't really they couldn't do it. Did they get blown out? No. Did they look horrible? No. They look like they know what they're doing, but they just can't make the plays when they need them. Games.
You guys, I want to dispel the notion that when I say things like Mac Jones isn't the problem, that I think he's a superstar. Can we set that aside and be serious about this for a second? And when I say things like Bill Belichick is a genius coach, despite what's happening now, I can actually back these things up. If you look at Mac Jones's numbers, they're not bad. He's not the problem. He had that terrible pass in a crucial moment that got picked off, kind of a jump ball, like at the 2-yard line. You needed those points at that point. So is he perfect? By all means, no. Show me a quarterback that is. I've been racking my brain to figure out what the problem is with New England. And I looked at Seattle this week, and I have my answer. Bill Belichick, all these years, has been a brilliant coach, but he had a guy on his team that was able to rally people and would get in the faces of everybody and hold them accountable so that the coach could coach and the players take care of themselves. And that guy was Tom Brady. That guy's Bobby Wagner for the Seahawks. He gave them a reality check, and it turned it around. I'm serious, dude. Every team needs a player coach that's like holding them accountable. And the New England Patriots do not have that guy anymore. And they've been slowly declining since Brady left. And it dawned on me when Bobby Wagner, that situation came up this week. That's the problem with New England. They don't look bad in these games. They could have won either one of them, but they don't have the players holding each other accountable, and they need that. And I look at another thing when I said Bill Belichick is good at scheming away your best things. Who's the best wide receiver in the game? Tyreek Hill. Yes, he had a touchdown, but he had 5 catches for 40 yards and a touchdown. That's shutting that guy down with what you have on the defense for the Patriots. So these things, I love watching these games and coming up with these theories and then seeing if they hold water. And this week I found 2 things that hold water. What do you guys think?
Mac Jones is also not the solution, is what I think.
I mean, is Geno Smith the solution in Seattle? He's a quarterback that we have, can get us wins. There's very few players that are like Patrick Mahomes. There's one Patrick Mahomes. Who else is on that level? There's not. So you have to look at guys that can get you wins, but not have to depend on them to win you the Super Bowl. You have to have a complete team to win the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes ain't winning a Super Bowl without Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, all those guys that he's had in the past. And Chris Jones. I mean, he proved to be a huge factor on defense. So I get what you're saying. He's not the solution. He's not the guy that's going to be the guy to get you to the Super Bowl, but he's not the reason you're not making it.
My question is then, do you think that if Kirk Cousins comes a calling for the Patriots and they are a good team and they're in all these games, if maybe they just needed a quarterback or a leader to come in and they win these 2 games? I mean, would a different because I would say, would a different quarterback make if Geno was on the Patriots right now, would they be 2-0?
No.
No, not Geno.
I don't
I'll ask you.
the guys that you mentioned are better than Mac Jones. And I'm saying that as a Seattle guy.
So
Kirk Cousins?
No.
I think Kirk Cousins is better than Mac Jones.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, Mac Jones is not the problem for the Patriots, but he's a problem for the Patriots. Like he's definitely one of the issues on offense. I think that he's
Based on what?
I just watching him play, man.
He's got Juju Smith-Schuster, and he's hitting 5 other guys more than he's hitting that guy.
But you're judged on wins and losses, 0-2.
Problem on that team. Yeah, losses is a problem, and
You're also judged
squarely on the quarterback. But
Yeah, you're judging Juju Smith-Schuster like he's good anymore. He's not even playing like 30% of the snaps. He's Dundee. Like Bourne is their number one. They probably got those two tight ends. Stevenson, yeah, Gasecki and whoever. But I mean, it's the eye test for me. When I watch him, I'm like, he almost looks like Chad Pennington 2.0, like just pus arm, these lob balls going up there. And it's like you're giving these guys defense too much time to close on this thing. And then as soon as I said that, he got hot and he did play good down the stretch of that game. So I'm not saying he's one of 32 starting quarterbacks in the world. So obviously he's good at football, but I just don't think he's the answer. And Miami, see if they'll keep it rolling. High-powered offense, man.
Yep. Let us know below what you guys think about that situation. Do you like Mac Jones? We didn't even have to mention Tua in this one. He didn't get knocked out. Going to Monday Night Football, we had 2 Monday night games, which we are apparently it's kind of a normal thing going to be rolling forward because we have them again. I was unaware of this coming into NFHell. The game that we're going to talk about is the Saints going to Carolina. And this we're gonna let Gobo start this one. I feel like it'd be a good talking point. Who did you take, Gobo? Oh, we all took the Saints. So
I was gonna say this is probably the most uninteresting matchup this week. Second row in a week, the Panthers have been part of the most uninteresting matchup in the NFL. I think the Panthers are definitely in a rebuilding year. The Saints have a somewhat functional defense. Derek Carr still sucks ass, but they've had 2 fairly easy matchups so far. Yeah, I'm not impressed by the Saints at all, but they're 2-0. So, I mean, who knows? Maybe they're better than I think.
right, I'm with you on that. I'm just like, I feel like the Saints, Derek Carr's with the Saints what he was with the Raiders. They win these games against these shitty teams. Yeah, he looks okay. He's going to tell everybody how much heart he has and how much he wants to win. Yeah, we all do, Derek. So I don't think it was an impressive win. I actually think Carolina, it was a really close game. And again, you're right. New Orleans defense is above average, which I feel kept him in this game, and that's how they won it. I don't think Derek Carr really is the answer. James.
Derek Carr is the only quarterback in the NFL to have 6 pass plays over 40 yards. And that's in 2 weeks. So clearly he's not as shitty as everybody's leading to believe.
Who'd they play?
It doesn't matter.
Like, yeah.
It's still an NFL football team, as you guys always like to say. But here's the thing. Carolina is another one of those teams that could end up with the first pick of the draft and just get rid of it for a ton. Mm-hmm. So I'm watching teams like this that are terrible, that have got their pieces in this last draft, that could potentially have the first pick and just sell it to the highest bidder,
right?
Which would be interesting because at that point I would think Caleb Williams would be coming out, because the world is your oyster at that point. Who's willing to give up the most for you? And certainly you have conversations with those teams. It is what it is. It'd be fun to watch, but I'm the story's out on this New Orleans team. I don't think they're bad. This division's certainly surprising me. I thought it was the worst in football, and here we got 3 teams sitting at 2-0. It's like,
fine, okay.
So it's early yet, and they've played, but they've played other bad teams. So maybe.
Right. G-Man, anything to add to this pathetic game? I mean, Saints.
Yeah. I mean, I apologize for earlier. I think I said Jamal Williams was hurt for Detroit. That's what he played for last year. He got hurt for the Saints, but Montgomery got hurt for the Lions. So it's still true that Gibbs is playing anyway. Tony Jones Jr. scores 2 touchdowns for the Saints. I mean, I think that says it all. No one knows what the hell's going on in this game. No one cares. No name guys, like garbage. Move on to the next one.
Yeah.
Next one.
I had an idea. I have a thought, Dames, on your whole quarterback. If they're the worst team and they already just drafted quarterback, do they do the whole Josh Rosen thing and say, you know what, we're trading away Young because we're drafting Caleb Williams? They're going to trade away their number 1 pick. Because they could still probably get a pretty good haul for him, but then the only thing is there's tape on him already.
I
They're
guess
not-
I guess you have
problem
to
to
just
have. Sorry.
see if they're owned 16 because of him.
right,
You know, and
right,
then you're gonna want him anyway.
Right.
But if you have any faith in him at all, you unload the pick and get
a bunch of stuff around
a
him.
bunch. I mean, a bunch.
Yeah,
This is the biggest quarterback prospect since Andrew Luck, dude.
right.
And
It's like what, 3 first minimum probably or something like that.
probably, yeah.
Yeah. Gotta. Maybe the Jets think it's the number one pick, traded for an offensive line. Anyway, all right. Moving on.
That's got Caleb Williams dynasty. For 4 years, you're winning the Super Bowl.
Young man has a lot of hype for sure.
I was gonna say, let's anoint him. Let's not
That's a
anoint him.
bold sticker. Anyway, yeah. Last week.
Watch him on Saturdays. He's insane.
It's true. It's true. Week 2, last game of the night was an awesome Watt-filled defensive. Mike Tomlin, I'm not going to lose 2 straight at home. Oh my gosh. Douchebag Dick Lick quarterback boy pushes a ref, doesn't get anything. He's just dude. That guy. I'm just telling you right now. As the year goes on, Deshaun Watt, we are just going to keep seeing. I feel like I don't think he can do anything, in my opinion. Where I'm just like, you know what? I actually kind of like him now. No,
Have
there's
you
not.
ever seen a quarterback get called for a face mask in your life?
Never.
Have you ever seen a quarterback get 2 15-yard penalties in a single game? This guy's coming unraveled, and that comes fully guaranteed.
Yeah, I mean, talk about the Browns. You're in NFL for like the next. Yeah.
God, you dumb sons of bitches. I don't have anything to say other than
I know. We're all just like,
No, honestly, yeah, no, fuck the Browns.
fuck the Browns.
They got a big win against a struggling Cincinnati team in week 1. The Steelers defense totally exposed and then Nick Chubb, poor guy, probably never going to be the same player he was before that hit. It's unfortunate, but that's honestly a Chubbless Brown, which sounds kind of dirty. A Chubbless Brown is not a pretty sight on offense.
Yeah, I mean, anything to do with Chubb and Deshaun Watson to me is like, that's pathetic.
What was your records this year, gentlemen? Or this
week? All right, I have them here. This week, I took the lead. I finished 12-4 for the week, and I am now 21-11. I'll start with the leader. Dames, you're sitting. You went 10-6 this week. Pulled up your record to 17-15. You're above 500. Jas, you dropped a game or 2 games on me. You went 10-6 this week, and you are now at 20-12. And Gobo, you are exactly what we thought you were last week at 9-7, and you went 9-7 again at 18-14. So again, we're all in it. It's the beginning of the year. We're all kind of
well on his way to 100 losses, though.
Oh,
Jails is like, I'm gonna say I'm in order, and then he's like Jails, and then you said Dames. I'm like, I have a better record than Dames, bro.
I'm in order on my sheet. I'm sorry. Let me restate.
Okay, gotcha.
I am reading over from left to right.
I'm just building up tension for my dramatic comeback.
Yeah. You're the comeback. They don't call you the comeback kid for nothing. All right. Now, again, this week, knock on wood, there'll be a bookmark here. Here we go. Week 3 picks. We are ready to go. NFHell. Make sure you're picking below. Play along at home. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to start Thursday night. Again, I'm going to go make another quick pizza. G-Man Jas going to San Fran. You flying out to this game? You should fly out to this game, bro. Thursday night.
Sadly for me, I'm doing my annual audit this week and can't leave. Otherwise, I'd have to find a new profession. Guys, this is what I think is going to happen. The Giants are going to stay hot. They're going to come out. Or actually, they stayed out on the west side, on the west coast, and I think you're going to see a lot more of Jalen Hyatt. He only played 20 snaps last game. Young, fast. Sometimes these Thursday games get out of control, get a little crazy, and weird shit happens. And I think we ride the wave in. We don't start like we did the first two games, and our defense was bad for 6 quarters, and then the last two they kind of gained control of the line of scrimmage, got a kick in the ass at halftime, and obviously as a fan, I got to hope that goes over this week, and I'm not going to say it's not until it doesn't. So G-Men on the road against the invincible 49ers, who will never be beaten except Thursday, 31-24 in a Thursday night fun fest.
So you're taking the Giants then, or?
Yeah.
The New York Football Giants.
All right, Dames. Let's hear your rebuttal.
Dude, I appreciate the optimism, but you think you're scoring 31 points in their house on that defense? Bold. I like it. You're robust with your prediction. If this game was in New York, I might find a way to just take enough of my Niners hatred to pick the Giants. But I gotta say, based on what I've seen thus far out of the two teams, it would be irresponsible for me to pick the Giants. I want the Giants to win, buddy. I'm a big fucking fan on Sunday, so don't let this pick make
Thursday.
Don't let this pick make you think I want a loss here, but I got San Francisco 31-18.
Gobo.
Niners win 35-13. Giants get completely outclassed, turn the ball over a bunch of times. Christian McCaffrey gets at least one, maybe two tuds. Purdy's gonna have himself a game. It's not gonna be pretty.
Wow. So we have Gobo taking the Niners. Dame's taking the Niners. I am also going to take the Niners. I think with Saquon being out this close from a Sunday to a Thursday, now granted he might play, I think that's really going to hurt the offense for the Giants, especially on a short week. And I'm with Gobo. I don't trust the Giants' defense yet. I don't really feel like their offense will be that problem because I feel like they will probably move the ball a lot. I did like what Danny Dimes was doing. I think San Francisco wins a close one. It is on a Thursday, like we said. Usually, I feel like there's a stat out here. If anybody wants to put it in the comments, I think home teams win like a certain amount of percentage, a lot higher, especially on Thursday night on short week. Niners 23, Giants 16. Going on. Baltimore, first Sunday game we're going to talk about. At home against the Colts. I will start this one off. I think Indy riding this, wave of a win. They're still not going to be able to go to Baltimore and win in that environment with a rookie quarterback. Baltimore's 1-2. They look phenomenal so far, as in Lamar Jackson. So I feel like Indy doesn't have enough defense for this, even if Richardson plays or doesn't. I feel like their defense isn't good enough. I think Baltimore wins this one 35-14. Gobo, who you got?
I think it's going to be a little bit closer, but I have to agree. I think that Richardson, even if he does play, he's going to be banged up a little bit. Baltimore's got a pretty solid defense. They got a lot of veteran players. It's going to be rowdy. That Baltimore faithful. I mean, it's a hard place to go and steal a win. I just don't see the Colts doing this. I think it'll be a little bit closer. So I'm going to take Baltimore 34, Colts 28. Gardner Minshew, 2 touchdowns in the air.
Oh, nice. We're doing predictions of players. I love it. G-Men, who you got?
I got Baltimore as well, guys. 26-19 at home. I'm going to have to give my predictions. Zay Flowers, he'll score 1 rushing and 1 receiving for the Ravens. They're just a better team, and we don't know what Gardner Minshew will show up. So Ravens at home should be fairly easy.
Dames.
Baltimore's going to win this game 28-20, and they're going to put a ton of pressure on the rest of that division. And people are going to start talking about them as a legit threat to do some badass things in the AFC.
Yep. Even losing J.K. Dobbins, I feel like, yep, they're kind of like it's kind of one of those running back things again.
Yeah,
Here we
it's
are.
next man up, dude.
Yeah.
And like they've got a decent line.
Yep. Yep.
So let's see what happens.
All right. Tennessee goes up to Cleveland. Kind of two teams that are, I believe they're both 1-1. Tannehill going up to face off douchebag Dick Licker. G-Man Jass, go ahead and get started on this one. Tennessee at Cleveland.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for giving me this one. We were just talking about week 2, and I'm like, yeah, I'm never gonna pick Cleveland again. And now I flip my sheet over and looks like I picked them earlier. Only because I hate Tannehill so much. But I am gonna switch this
Oh, okay.
because I don't like Cleveland. I talked myself out of Cleveland. We'll keep the score the same. We'll just flip it. 19-9, Tennessee over the Browns. They will control the game on the ground, and we'll find out that Ford is not Chubb, and maybe the running back value comes back up a little bit next week.
Well, I'm gonna agree with you on Tennessee winning this game. I have them winning a close one. I think two things will factor in, especially Chubb being gone. I feel like people might not think it's so much a shock. Yeah, during the game, Chubb goes out, he comes in. Oh my gosh, he had a bunch of rushing yards. But then as the week goes on, Tennessee will start game planning for that, and they're going to say, okay, he's not Nick Chubb. We stop their run. Tennessee's defense is also really, really good. So again, I think they take him down, and I'm never going to pick Dick Touch guys. So I'm taking Tennessee 28-27 on the road. And I'm not a huge fan of Tennessee either, but lesser of two evils. James.
First of all, there's nothing wrong with Dick Lickers. I support you, Dick Lickers, everywhere. Male
Yeah,
or
that's true. Yeah.
Don't
make people.
Secondly, two really cool cities, you guys, but two complete butthole franchises. So it's just a matter of who you like more. And I fucking hate Watson. So I'm going, and I'm not always gonna say that because if I think they're gonna win, I'm gonna pick them. But Tennessee's got this one 27-24.
Okay. Gobes, last but not least. You taking
Yeah, I picked Dick Touch guy last week because I didn't like what I saw out of Pittsburgh in week 1. Yeah, I'm flipping the narrative here. I think yeah, like I said, Chubless Brown is not Flavor Town. So yeah, I'm taking the Titans to win a pretty boring game. Defenses are good on both sides, offenses are terrible. Titans 13, Browns 10.
All right, Jails. I got a question for Jails.
Let's hear it.
So I would assume there's 53 people on every team. There's probably someone on every NFL team that has done something, man, possibly. Okay, so you are never going to pick the Browns because Sean Watson's was made public. So you're just going to discriminate against the rest of his team and say, I hate all of you because your quarterback did that. Or I mean, what are we saying here? Like every other team's, good because that guy is on their team?
Oh, I think it's more of not just him, because he did all that stuff. B, it's public. Okay. C, he got a bunch of guaranteed money. And he's the type of guy where I feel like it's almost like Russell Wilson. He was like this other person. And then all of a sudden, all this stuff starts leaking out about who he is. I really love Deshaun Watson coming out. And I think that's why it hurt the most is like, I believed in him. He was like a faith guy. He like always was doing the right thing, helping kids. Like, and then I find all this crap out. I mean, the thing is, and I guess, I like the Browns as, some of their players, but I just don't like him. So as long as he's the leader of that team, I will not pick him. I guess if he was on the bench as the backup quarterback, I could see me taking the Browns.
So I think we should get some NFHell merch made. Okay. And one of those things is a stuffed Midwest Jet doll with a pull string that says Fuck Deshaun Watson.
So, yeah, fuck Dick Touch guy.
You pull it again. Pull it again and it
What was
cries.
the nickname?
You pull it again and it cries.
DTG.
So
And then you pull it again, and what is another thing that he says all the time?
J-E-T.
Oh.
just end the season.
Season.
So here's the thing with Deshaun Watson, and I think that there's a lot of forgivable things that players do because I think, Jess, you're right. Most NFL rosters, you're going to find guys with DUIs, guys with drug charges, guys who maybe took a bribe in college or got paid for an autograph or got a free tattoo or one of those stupid fucking things that NFL players do. Here's the thing. Deshaun Watson was accused of sexual assault. I mean, it's the elephant in the room. So it's like, is that really something that, like, it's hard to turn your back on that particular crime? I mean, even like, if you look at like other elements of pop culture, like Kevin Spacey was acquitted of his charges. He's still kind of toxic in Hollywood. If you really think about it, I don't really want to go watch a Kevin Spacey movie. So, I mean, even just having evidence against you in any form of that particular crime, I just think makes you really unlikable.
Why the fuck did we pick him last week? God damn it.
He's just mad because he's in it.
The Browns they played well, and I wasn't picking Deshaun Watson. I was picking the Browns as a whole.
That's all right.
Here we go.
All right.
Right.
Dumbest name in football.
Okay, I like that one.
That is something he says.
All right, let's move on. We're going to back to Detroit, I should say, the Motor City. Atlanta's coming up here. I think this is a very interesting game. I want to hear Dames Marv's pick on this one first. Hit it, boy.
I'm going to pick Atlanta. I'm going to pick Atlanta 42-28. Enough said.
Wait, isn't this the Commanders against the Lions?
Is it?
Atlanta Lions.
Atlanta Lions. Oh, okay. I thought we were talking about the Commanders for some reason. I was like,
well, he brought that up because of that was the doll that he was saying.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was just an off. I was like, I thought we were talking about Washington. Okay, yeah.
42
sorry.
what? What did you say? 42 to what?
28.
28. Wow, high scoring affair. G-Man, who you got in this?
I think it'll be a pretty high scoring affair as well. And think Detroit actually rebounds at home. So this is the first time I believe I picked against Atlanta. I think they're a good team. They control the clock, but they're gonna win 3 in a row. I don't think so. Detroit rebounds at home. They find a way to score a lot. 35-24. And Detroit's back in the talks.
Yep. I'm going to go with G-Man Jazz on this one. I'm going to take Detroit at home. I do think I'm with you. I think their defense really rebounds because I know a lot of us talked about against Seattle how their defense didn't get any pressure on Geno. They weren't really doing anything impactful. I think this week they changed that and they take care of business at home. It's a big. I think it's kind of a big win for them. They need to come back home, show it. That first week one win against Kansas City wasn't a fluke, and that they are a really good team. Now, is Atlanta a good team? I think they are kind of one of those teams that's a team on the rise. But I just think Detroit comes home and Atlanta gets a little bit of a wake up call. Detroit wins 24-10 at home. Gobo, your pick.
I mean, I watched Detroit last week get kind of manhandled by a subpar offensive line, so I think I think that Atlanta is going to go up there. I think they're the best team in the NFC South. I think that they do start with 3 wins. I think it's going to be a close one. I think Detroit, they figure their offense out a little bit. I see Goff hitting St. Brown quite a bit. That new rookie is going to get some yards. So I'm giving, I think Atlanta wins by 1 again, 29-28 on a last-second Younghoe Koo field goal.
Okay, all right. Great prediction. All right, and we're going to start with you, Gobo, because the Saints are to town. They're coming up to Green Bay. Face the Pack. Let's hear your thoughts on this game.
I mean, it wasn't that long ago where the Saints fans were wearing bags over their heads. So I mean, let's not all forget that without Sean Payton and Drew Brees, the Saints really don't have much of a history. That being said, Packers are not perfect. I think that they played a good game. I think that the pressure got to Jordan Love a little bit. Not an issue this week. They're heading back home. It's their first game at Lambeau. I mean, Aaron Jones, he's on the road to recovery. Does he play this next week? Probably not. I don't think they need him. I think Carr is going to get hassled by that defense. I like the Packers in this one. 27-14 at home.
G-Man.
I also have Green Bay with 27. Have New Orleans with 22. I feel like Green Bay is good enough at home to beat, mediocre teams and below for sure. Um, don't really think the Saints have a whole lot at running back now with Williams hurt. Um, Kamara comes back next week, so as of this point, it's Tony Jones Jr. So maybe pick him up in your fantasy leagues if you got no one else. Packers at home. Let's see what Love can do at home. It's going to be pretty electric for him, so he might be a little overthrown, a little excited early, but he'll get in a groove and they'll win that game.
I'm also going to I'm going to go 3 for 3 here in a row. I'm going to take the Pack at home. I'm with both of you. I just think that they are at home. Jordan Love's home debut. I don't think the Saints, they're kind of, like I said, one of those teams. I don't think they're bad, but they're not good. I think the Packers find a way to win at home. I think they win a close one, 17-14, and not Crosby kicks the game winner to win Packers 17-14. Dames Marvs, I wanted you to go last because I knew we were all three taking the Pack.
This game's not an easy one for me to pick because I don't know anything about either of these teams yet, really. I think with the running back situation in New Orleans the way it is, Taysom Hill could be something that they could go to provide them a little extra punch. I know it worked against Seattle last year. Fucker scored 3 touchdowns on us in a disappointing loss. So look out for that, Green Bay, if he's healthy. And I'm going to go with a squeaker at Lambeau, 31-30. The Pack pulls it out.
31-30. All right, we have a 4. All right, we all picked the Pack. Wow, what a turn of event this is for Gobo. NFHell to start the season, coming to week 3, and we're all taking your team. How the turntables have turned.
All of us are hovering around 600 win percent.
That's true. How are you guys doing? Let us know below. I know we keep saying it, but we want to know. Are you taking the Pack at home, or are you saying you guys are crazy? You guys are crazy.
I have a point on that, on the 600% win percentage, Dames. I believe you told us in a production meeting that the guys who do this professionally on ESPN, Michael Strahan, all those fucking guys, they don't do any better than we do.
They do not.
So, I saw the entire panel pick the Bears week 1 against the Packers. So, yeah.
Right.
Right.
That's why we love the NFL.
That's why we love the NFL. All right. VT's tuning in. He's going to listen to our next picks. Houston's going to Jacksonville. Jacksonville coming off a loss. I think Jacksonville wins this game big. I don't think this is going to be much of a surprise to anyone listening at home or picking games. I think they rebound, and Houston's just not a good team. I think Jacksonville wins big 38-13. G-Man Jazz, who you got?
I got Jacksonville rebounding as well. I don't have the score quite as high. Houston might hang around for a little bit, but I think, week 1 was Ridley. Week 2 was Christian Kirk. Why don't we try getting both those guys involved in the same game and, start looking like the team that a lot of us thought Jacksonville could be. So 27-17 at home. Houston is in hell, but, they know they're on a 2-3 year plan. So just a nice swarm sizzle.
Gobo.
I mean, not really much to say on this game. Jacksonville 40, Houston 10. Lawrence is gonna bust out. He's gonna take that loss personally from last year, and that big dick is just gonna it's gonna be around every Houston Texan neck. So, yeah, 40-10. It's not gonna be close.
James, big dick long. Come on.
Shout out to those who wear dicks around their necks. I'm gonna go. Lawrence throws for 4 touchdown passes in this game. Stroud throws for 2. 28-14. Jacksonville.
All right. All throwing. All right, Gobo, we'll start with you. We're coming. Your hometown team, Denver, travels to Miami. Oh, out of some nice weather.
Dolphins, God, Jesus.
Yeah.
Dolphins by a lot. Honestly, I could see this being a higher scoring game. I think the Dolphins defense is pretty suspect. It's hard to pick like who on Denver. Like if you're a fantasy person, like there's probably somebody on Denver that you're not aware of that's going to score high this next week. But I'm going to say Dolphins win it. Not really in a close game, 42-28.
James.
First of all, I cannot wait to watch this game. I think it's going to be Miami in the Red Zone channel for the better part of the early block. And I think Russell Wilson gets pulled at halftime.
Score?
We'll go 34-20.
34-20. G-Man.
I'm not sure if Russell Wilson will get pulled or not. I think maybe Sean Payton would enjoy watching him struggle and leave him in as long as possible to make a point, get through. Either way, it's probably not going to be a win for Denver. Miami, high scoring. I think one of Denver's strengths was their stud corner, but like we said, Miami has a couple other different weapons. So even if they shut down Hill or Waddle, the other one could have a big game. 30-20, Miami at home.
And I am, with no surprise, taking the same team at home. All those points you guys made, I'm going to definitely they're at home. Denver isn't playing well. I am going to take a close game. I'm going to say 21-17. I feel like at some point, maybe Miami doesn't score a billion points. So let's hope it's this week, just so I get it closer.
And it could be a 40 burger.
Yeah, it also could be a 40 burger.
Yeah, it could get ugly, but yeah, I don't see the Broncos winning this.
Right. All right. So again, let us know what you guys are thinking at home. Play along. We have the Los Angeles Chargers traveling to Minnesota. Can Minnesota win at home? Dames, you're ready for this one. What do you think? What do you got?
I got the Chargers winning against a very abysmal Minnesota team. They go to 0-3. The Chargers get out of the schneid. They have to. One of these teams, these are the same team to me. Like,
yeah,
got a quarterback that should be good, a defense that's getting old. I mean, they really are the same team to me. So I'm going to go with the away team just because I kind of want Minnesota to lose too. I kind of do.
What you got for
let's speed score. How about a squeaker? You feel like 28-27. Someone misses an extra point.
Oh, well, yeah, and I could see that definitely be Minnesota's kicker because they I'm actually taking the opposite of you, but I'm also taking a very close score, 30-26. I think Minnesota doesn't start 0-3 because I think they're at home. That crowd is one. This is a kind of a must win for them. Now, on your terms, I mean, in a way, I guess hopefully maybe they lose. That way, Kirk Cousins' value goes down if the Jets happen to trade for this guy. But I just think we've been talking about the Chargers and how we think they're going to, and they just haven't been. Who's covering Justin Jefferson is what I'll say on this one. So heavy dose, heavy dose. Dames, you shaking your head? What? You
No,
don't think
I'm
so?
agreeing with you.
Okay,
Nope,
thank you.
cover him.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Gobo.
I'm with Jails on this as much as it pains me to pick a division foe and a win. I just fucking Chargers are just not who we thought they were. They like with the injury to Eckler, I think that just completely tanks their run game. Their receiving core, I think, it gets them points, but like that's really their only weapon. So I think coaches are going to adjust to that. I think Cousins can play semi-competently during the regular season. And then Justin Jefferson, he's one of the best receivers in the league. I just see him having a big day. I'm picking the Vikings 20-17 at home.
Last but not least, G-Man Jazz, who you got?
I'm gonna ask a question to you guys first. What do you think about, being on a show like Quarterbacks, or I believe that's what it was called, and the effect that could have on you, say having that all around you for a full season into a playoff loss, and then they all just disappear. You like go into this dark place maybe, and now you're like, well, now we're not documenting this season. Is it as important as the last season? Like the human psychology to this, and has it affected Cousins? Because these guys suck. And I
Well,
mean, I know it's not all his fault. I know it's not all his fault, but I mean, is that a possibility?
here you go. You got to follow three guys, right? I don't really know the answer to your question, but I can tell you Geno Smith turned it down this year, and there's a reason for it. Maybe even if he wanted to, maybe Pete told him, "I don't want anyone in the building." Pete's turned down Hard Knocks every year since they started. I just think he has this culture that he doesn't want anybody to touch. They can talk about it on the outside, but he doesn't want anybody in there. And I do think, for us on our standpoint, it got us closer to these guys. Like I didn't particularly like Patrick Mahomes until I watched the show. I liked it. I think Kirk Cousins is a really super cool dude. I think Mariota's a douche. I mean,
I think we knew Mariota was.
Yeah, I also think.
But you're right. There might be some residual effect, but I would think it would be in the season that you're recording it that would cause the issue. But I don't know.
Who'd you take in this game, G-Man Josh? You didn't give me a score or anything like that.
Yeah, I was just wanted to see what you guys thought on that. But yeah, as far as the game goes, the rookie Jordan Addison for the Vikings taking over the Adam Thielen role has scored a touchdown in each game so far. So, maybe there is some competition for offensive rookie of the year. You got Bijan, you got Puka. Minnesota at home, 31-28 to rebound. I just same as you guys. I just picked the home team.
I stand alone.
Right, and the cool thing about this game, in my opinion, especially for those guys at home, one of these teams is going to 0-3, and then what happens? Like
it's over for somebody.
It's over for somebody.
I was like 0-3. You start looking for new jobs.
Yeah, coaches are starting to sweat.
I do like what you said though, Dames, about them being the same team, because that they really are. Like you could put this in, like, this would be the worst Super Bowl that's ever happened if these two teams played.
Basically, and that's true because one of them would have to win it.
Right. Because they can't tie. I was my other prediction. I'm kind of down in the standings. If I was up, I might have said this, but this game could be a tie. These teams could very likely tie. They're very same.
Right.
Well, that would prove my point all the way that they're exactly the same team.
They're
I know that'd be a soundbite if they fucking tied. Oh my god.
The best part about this is, as well as this segues into the next game, which is the the Patriots coming to New York to face my New York Jets. And I actually picked an overtime win for the Jets in this game.
Ooh.
So last year, I'm going to kind of go back by last year. My defense really played a really good game last year, and we ended up having the ball at the end. We punted it. Our punter was supposed to punt it out of bounds, doesn't. The guy takes it to the house. The Patriots win pretty much at the buzzer. It was one of those games where it's like the Jets should have won that game. We outplayed them all game. Our defense was playing really well. Offensively, it was tough to get things going again. Belichick has great schemes. He's going to take away Garrett Wilson or Breece Hall, one of the two. I don't think he can take away both of them. I really think the Jets get their run game going in this game. I feel like, again, Zach Wilson had to come off the bench week 1 against one of the best defenses in the league against the Bills, somehow gets a win. Week 2, he has to prepare for another top 3 defense in Dallas. He's never on the field. We lose that game. And again, in my opinion, not his fault completely. This week is when I'm going to say, okay, Zach, control the game, be on the field, be present. Defense is going to help us. This is the types of games that the Jets are going to start looking like. We're going to look good. What do we got here?
Chicken scratch.
I also picked New England Jets in overtime. I was just making sure I could show this before so they can see that I didn't, make this up. But my score is right there. Do you see it?
Jets 17-20 OT. You picked the Jets over the same exact thing. Oh no. 20 to 17.
What'd you pick for score?
17-14. 17-14.
Nice.
So we got you. Okay, we got 2 Jets guys going 21-17.
They're in New York.
Yeah, in New York. Gobo. Go ahead.
Easy. Yeah, I honestly, like I said, I think that the loss to the Cowboys says more about Dallas than it does about New York. I still think with Cincinnati potentially taking a shit here, I think that this is the window the Jets have to maybe get a greasy win and find themselves in a Super Bowl this year. I think that New England is past it. I think that there is way too many liabilities, and I think at home, I know it's a rivalry game. It's hard to pick, but I'm taking New York 27-13.
James, are you going lone wolf on this?
I am. And I'm
You
going to
are.
tell you why.
Let's hear it.
Exactly what Belichick's going to do. He's going to look at the options that you guys have on offense, and he's going to say, Zach Wilson, Breece Hall. Zach Wilson's going to take himself out of the game, so I'm going to focus on stopping the run game, because then you won't even have a pass game. If you stop the run game, they're going to be focused heavily on the pass, and he's already going to have an answer for that, which his answer half takes care of itself by the terrible quarterback play on the other side of the ball. Defense is great, and I do believe it wins games, but I believe it wins Super Bowls, not games. So I am going to go for the second game in a row by myself, New England 31-20.
Coming into New York with the win. Let us know what you think below. Are you jumping on with me, G-Man Jazz Gobo, or are you sticking with Dame's Patriots on the road?
Say this, Jails, if they go 2-1, be very excited.
Right. And that's why I'm like, this is kind of the game where I'm like, okay. Because like I said, I'm kind of like G-Man Jazz with the bye. Need to kind of have a 500 record when we get to our bye, and then down the stretch, we have some winnable games. Let's go to the dumbest name in sports, or excuse me, in football. Actually, let's go to the dumbest name in the Washington.
I might have a pull string doll in the other room here. I got a lot of toys.
Let's go ahead. Dames, go ahead and start this one off. Buffalo going to Washington because this is a team you like.
I have a feeling that I'm going to be the third game in a row where I'm by myself.
No.
I am picking Washington 34-28 over Buffalo.
You are not alone.
What? I am here with you.
I know. I'm like, can I show mine again too? Look at those guys right here. Yeah. I also am taking Washington because Buffalo to me is one of those teams where it's like, I feel like they're up and down. Washington's hot. And they're buying into what their coach is selling. So I think they at home also muster out a win. I think they win in a close one, 24-23. So you are not alone, Dames. I'm here with you. And I am picking the Commanders, which is also like chalk this one up in NFL history. G-Men.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. You guys have now went Delulu on us. Josh Allen is coming off some awesome performance, flush down game one. He is back in form. I realize I don't have to go for the deep one all the time. I can just dump it off to either of my two far above average tight ends. One's a rookie. Kincaid and Knox isn't too bad himself. You got a true number one and Diggs on the outside. And then you have Dalvin Cook's little brother, James Cook, and he's turning into a pretty fine running back himself. So Josh Allen, Sam Howell, that's all I'm looking at. Bills, what do I have them down as? 24-21, so it will be close, but Buffalo will win this game.
Gobo.
I honestly I don't know what you guys are seeing with the Commanders. I mean, they bopped two of the worst teams in the league, including that really greasy win over Denver, which I honestly thought that Washington was going to beat them up a little bit, and they had to come back from really far down, and narrowly avoid disaster, and then did avoid disaster with a pretty questionable no call on that pass interference. So I don't see it with Washington. I could be wrong. Terry McLaurin is a beast for sure. But aside from that, I mean, Buffalo, I still think is the class of the AFC, along with the Chiefs. So yeah, I think that it's closer than people expect, but I'm giving it 28-20. The boys from New York walk away with a win here.
All right, we've split on that one. I love it. Let us know what you guys think at home. Comment below. Type in the comments and tell us, all your picks. We'd love to hear them. Dames Marvs, rookie boy coming all the way across the country to Seattle. The Panthers are visiting you at the 12th man.
Well, here's the thing, guys. We were 30th in run defense last season, allowing 5.9 yards per carry, which is absurd. Can't believe there's anyone worse than that. We made it the focus of the offseason this time. And through 2 weeks, we're third with a 2.9 yards per carry. Now, that's not going to sustain throughout the year because typically the number one team in the league is usually right around 3.4 yards per carry. So we're ahead of what normally is the lead. But since it's early yet, there's still two teams ahead of us there. I like that. But I also see that it has created some kind of chaos where now all of a sudden that we can be passed on. Jamal is back in practice. He may suit up this week for the first time since we got him.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know if you remember this, but his first year with us, he broke the record for sacks by defense.
Yeah. Oh, dude, when he's healthy, he's
what I'm excited about is where is he gonna play? Is he gonna line up at the Mike linebacker? Is he gonna take middle linebacker away from Bobby Wagner for some snaps? Is he gonna push Jordan Brooks out of the way? This guy needs to be near the line of scrimmage. I know he's a safety by trade, but we got that. We got Diggs. We got Witherspoon. We got a bunch of dudes back there. Kobe Bryant, Trey Brown even had a pick 6 this week.
Oh.
So it's like, this is just getting like a super talented player. And let's all agree, when he's on the field playing, he's a beast. This is like getting like an extra Christmas present, dude. So I can't wait to see where they play him. I would like to see a score of like 38-16, and we just beat up on an 0-2 team at home. I almost hope that doesn't happen, though, because I don't want this team to become overconfident, because when you got a bunch of young guys, and I think 41% of this team is new, like within their first 2 years. So when you have a team that's that young, I don't want them to get overhyped, because they don't know what the other side of it looks like yet. And if they just keep riding this, they'll be let down and it'll be harder to pick them up. So I think we win for sure. I would like to see 38-16.
All right. Dames, I'm basically, G-Man Jess, you're going before me. Okay, I see you're ready to go. Let's hear it. You got a thought?
I would love to go. I mean, much like a Christmas gift, Damon, Jamal Adams will be broken down and broke within, 1 to 2 weeks of the kid playing with it, and then he will be thrown off to the side and forgotten about. He is done. He's never going to be healthy again. I've just move on from him. That being said, you don't need him. Carolina's horrible. You guys are going to control the ball. It's at home, and I don't know if they even have a strength. So just have your best players on the field, and it'll all be good. Seattle 26-9. We'll see if Metcalf is healthy, because I believe he has something going on, but
He injured his rib.
You hear a niner in there? Gobo.
Yeah, it's another one of those games where it's just like it's kind of just boring to pick it, because it's Seattle has playmakers and Carolina doesn't, and they're in Seattle. It's another really very loud, raucous stadium. They have the 12th man jerseys exist for a reason. Seattle fans are very loyal, so even if the team is less than perfect, which I think that they definitely need some holes they need to fill, I think their confidence will kind of be their undoing later in the year, because I think they win this one big too. I'm going to say 31-6. They take down the Panthers. Bryce Young has going to have a rough day.
All right. Okay, let's move on to Dallas, the 2-0 defense. Wow, what a break they get in this game, or I should say, wow, what a challenger going to Arizona. I don't think, I'm not going to speak for everyone here, but I'm pretty sure America here, I'm talking to America here. I think all of us are going to say it. People in the comments are going to say it. Dallas should win big. They're going to win big. Micah Parsons is going to destroy that line. That quarterback is going to look like Zach Wilson last week. I'm just going to say it. I think Dallas wins big. I don't think Arizona even scores in this game. I think it's going to be deja vu from week 1. Dallas 40, Arizona 0. G-Man.
Wow. I mean, I think we're all on the same page who we're picking. I have Dallas on the road, big win, or win big, but not a big win. Obviously, it's just another, speed bump in the way to when they meet up with the Eagles or someone, where we get to see a true test of who they are at a certain point in the season. So Dallas 31, Arizona 12. The quarterback's somewhat mobile, so I think he'll be able to run around a little bit, and they'll be able to make something happen once or twice. So good luck, Dobbs.
Good luck. Gobo.
Dallas 48, Arizona 7. I think it's a great game if there's Make-A-Wish kids that are, hoping their last wish is like to play a down for the Cowboys. Like, this would be a good game to throw them in there. Because this game is not going to be competitive after the first quarter. I see probably 4 or maybe even 5 turnovers. Dallas is the cat, and the Cardinals are like a paralyzed mouse. So yeah, it's just gonna be funny for like half an hour, and then it's gonna get sad.
Arizona's literally in NFHell right now. If you're a Cardinals fan out there, comment on here. We want to know, like, how has the decline? I mean, you went from Kingsbury to Murray. Oh, we have a little hope. We had Fitzgerald, and now it's just Dames.
Hey, well, is Trey Lance active? Will he get some snaps? Is that what we're saying here? Is that what we're saying?
You know what? We could see Trey Lance.
Let's see it. Let's call it. We're seeing Trey Lance this week.
And I think the Make-A-Wish kid will have a better completion percentage.
Dames.
Okay, first things first. I don't know if you're trying to open an old wound in Jass's heart by saying 40-0. I don't know if that was intentional.
It was. It was. Oh, it was.
All right. Sorry about
Thanks for bringing it up again. Thanks
Glad
for bringing it
separated by time and space. You sack of shit.
Yeah, he texted me already. No, I'm just
How dare you? Okay, so I don't want to talk about this game. It's already over. I put down my score. Dallas 1.5 million to 6.
okay. Chalk that one up in NFL. Right now, the first 1,000,000-point game. All right.
I mean, you haven't had a pick yet, so I mean, yeah, why not?
Yeah. Okay, the Bears up next, going to Kansas City. Fields thinks that he can do it, but I'm just letting you guys know. I feel like this is another one of those games. It's like this Dallas Arizona game, now the Chicago KC game. I mean, maybe there's going to be some how do I say this? Bears fans that are just going to say I'm picking the Bears no matter what. But all of us people who are watching football. I feel like Kansas City is going to control this game. Dames Marv, you are running a long ways, man. That's a long run.
I actually got winded not running. All right, boys. The Bears go into Kansas City and lose. They lose 42-16.
Love it. I feel like this is, again, not going to be that crazy. I'm also taking the Chiefs at home. I don't think there's a lot to be said on this game. I hate Justin Fields. I love Mahomes. 35-12. Chris Jones, again, is going to wreak havoc in this game. Fields is going to have to throw, which he can. So, again, 35-12 KC. G-Man Jess.
It was funny that you said the Dallas, Arizona, and this game were kind of the same. When I looked at these, I literally had that 31-12 down, and I'm like, oh, it's the same game. I'm just flipping it. So now it's 31-12 Chiefs over Bears, same score, same exact thoughts. This game will be over somewhere around halftime, and people will just be watching it for fantasy.
Yep. Gobo, last but not least, and I hate doing it on these games because we pretty much all have said everything that needs to be said. Do you have anything you want to throw in at this game?
I think it's important to remember that the Bears traded up and then passed on Patrick Mahomes to take Justin Fields. It was Mitch Trubisky. I'm sorry.
Trubisky.
It was Trubisky, yes.
Well, I mean, which one's worse?
I mean, yeah, it's one's still a starter at least.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, I mean, Chiefs 37, Bears 13. Yeah, it's not going to be very much fun to watch unless you hate the Bears, which I do, so I'll tune in.
All right, ditto. All right, Dames Mars, we're going to start with you on Sunday Night Football. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to Las Vegas to take on the...
You guys know I love me some Mike Tomlin, and I can't name a Raider, so I'm going to go with Pittsburgh 24-12.
24-12. Gobo.
You know, if this was 1978, this game would be fucking sweet.
I know, right?
Like,
that is the best point we've made.
Both these teams were in the 70s. Oh my god. Like, just boner central.
Yeah.
The Steelers, I'm picking the Steelers. I don't like this Raiders team. I don't like Jimmy Garoppolo. I think Devontae is on the wrong team. If he has any gas left, we're not going to know because he's probably not going to, nobody's going to give him the contract he's wanting after these couple of abortions of seasons with the Raiders. So I'm going to say, yeah, what did Dame say? 24-12. I'm going to say 27-17, Pittsburgh.
Okay. I am going to actually flip the script on this one. I am going to take the home team. I feel like, again, I'm not sure who the Steelers are. They lost their home opener horribly. This last game, their defense won it for them. I'm still not sure about this quarterback. I do think the Raiders can maybe get some run game going with Jacobs. And I'm with you with Devontae Adams. I do feel like he does have a little left, and if you have him singled up, Garoppolo is going to find him. He's an above average quarterback. I mean, that would actually probably be a guy I would take. I wouldn't mind having Jimmy G over Kirk Cousins. Anyway, we'll come back to that point. Raiders 23, Steelers 21 in a nail biter. Jazz. You're muted, bro. You're muted, bro. You're muted, bro.
My bad. I thought you were going to pick Pittsburgh, so I was going to pick Vegas, but now that you went ahead and did that, yeah, I'm definitely picking Pittsburgh.
I swayed your vote.
40-0.
No, I'll keep the score the same. Another overtime game. I do think it'll be close, obviously, because I had Vegas winning at one point. I have no faith in either of these teams. It seems like every time I pick for the Steelers, they lose. So I'm going to do it again because I got some Raider friends. You're welcome, guys. 20-17 in overtime, and just a boring game. Boring primetime game.
Boring primetime game on Sunday night. All right, let's move to Monday night again. I don't know if everyone's aware, and I wasn't until we started doing this. There are 2 Monday night games again, which is, I guess, did they talk about this at the beginning of the year for a reason?
They did this last year too.
Yeah, they did this
It's like so stupid the way they're doing it too, because they start the games basically at the same time.
Yeah.
So like you need 2 TVs to watch it. It's just like, bro, it's Monday night. That was kind of the whole appeal, is that the whole nation is watching one game.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't like this. I'll say it every time. Dear NFL, stop doing this. I'm with Gobo. I like the one game. Everybody tuned in. I don't know if they're trying to make it so in case one game isn't as good, people will tune over to the other one, so they're getting both ratings. I don't know their thought process on this. We're going to start with Philly in Tampa Bay. I'm going to start off because I am actually I'm going to take the upset here, even though the home team isn't it. I'm going to take the upset at home. Tampa Bay wins 19-17. I don't think the Eagles have faced anyone that good yet, so I feel like Tampa Bay's defense is going to be ready to go. Baker Mayfield, it's your time to shine on Monday night. Last time he was on Monday night, what happened? Oh yeah, didn't he play for the Rams and throw 3 touchdowns, that game winner at the end? I like Baker in this game. I am taking the upset. Tampa Bay 19. Philly loses their first game, and kind of we're going to look past the Bucks. 19-17. Dame's Marvs.
Thank you for letting me catch up a game on this one.
You're welcome.
There ain't no way Tampa's rolling out of this one.
Can this be a thing next week when Tampa Bay wins?
If you want.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Roll it back.
Roll it back.
If you want.
Oh man. Virtual handshake.
Nice.
Oh, snap. What are you guys betting?
$10, I said.
No.
Oh, $10. Okay, I didn't hear the terms.
24-12. I don't really need to say anything more than that because America knows what's up.
Jess.
My brother, I'm not sure Baker Mayfield will make it through this game. And it might just because it's so far out of hand, they just bench his ass. Eagles 35, Bucks 17. I'm getting sick of picking the Eagles, but they got to play somebody that I actually think can, compete. Bucks suck.
Gobo.
The Succaneers, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and I mean I get it as it's a division rival, Jess. I really do, but it's hard to pick against one of the best teams in football. The Eagles are a fairly complete team, and I feel like Tampa is definitely better than people thought they were, and I think their defense has proven to be formidable, if not like cream of the crop in that division. But yeah, it's still the Eagles' game to lose. I don't see them making a lot of mistakes in prime time. I think that yeah, it's gonna be nice weather down in Tampa. Yeah, Eagles 35, Bucks 21.
Give me the crap.
There we go. I'll be the lone wolf on this game. I need to take some upsets. I feel like, here at NFL, sometimes I'm like, well, it's easy to take the Eagles, and maybe that's, I'm
Honestly,
pushing myself down
honestly,
into
it's kind of a
NFL.
boring week. There's a lot of
Yeah.
there's a lot of really high lines and big blowout potential this week.
Yep. And then, so our last game, and I think this one's kind of interesting. The last Monday night game of the weekend. Before we get to that, we want to make sure stick around because Ricky's picks are coming up. We want to, make sure, like he said, there's a lot of different lines this week. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Ricky has to say this week as he went undefeated last week. The Rams go to Cincinnati in a must-win for the Bengals, possibly without Joe Burrow. Right? Are we all thinking this? Possibly without Joe Burrow. Dames, we're going to go with you first on
I've
this one.
seen too much out of the Rams this year. I ain't seen nothing out of Cincinnati. I'm going to go Rams 28-18 in Cincy.
Gobo.
Yeah, I mean, it's a rematch of the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. I think McVay's going to have a good scheme. I think the Bengals, like I said, I think they're kind of lost without Joe Burrow being in peak physical condition. I think the Rams are going to pull the upset. I know that the Bengals are the favorites on paper. 27-24, Rams win it.
G-Man.
Well, I would have the Bengals rebounding if Joe Burrow was there for sure. Just reading my phone, it does look like that is truly not known at this point, and the only negative about filming before the Thursday night game.
Monday night game. Oh, yeah, Thursday night as well. But I'm just saying before the game. Got you.
That being said, I am going to go for an upset here, which at home, Cincinnati, I'm not sure how much of an upset it is against the Rams, but I am going to take the Bengals somehow. The rookies don't catch 10 balls each or so, or 15 or whatever it is, and they have an off game. Bengals at home, 28-27 to end week 3.
Well, I also I'm actually gonna get a game back now because I can't believe you took the Bungles. I'm taking the Rams 23-14 as well with those other three. Again, this is NFL where we pick games, we talk about games, we love talking about football. Join us in the comments, share with your friends, like. Make sure to stick around for Ricky's picks. I'm Midwest Jet, Dames Marvs, Gobo, G-Man Jass. Thank you so much for watching and listening to NFHell.
What's up, everybody? Ricky Montalvo back here for the Week 3 NFL slate. And there's a big smile on my face because if you tailed me last week, you went 3-0, baby. 3-0, the dream. That's right. That's us. We swept the board. What a Sunday. Such a blessing to be able to sit on your couch and get paid. It's something special. It's why we do this, right? In all seriousness, no, tremendous week for us. I'll touch base on it really quick here. review kind of what we were getting into. We had last week the Chiefs -3. We were very fortunate on that cover. The Jaguars just could not get a touchdown to save their lives. So nice cover there for the Chiefs. We took the big favorite, one I was a little bit trepidatious about, Buffalo. Like I told you, anything below the 10 you could take, and that number stayed. That one was tremendous. Great bounce back spot for them. And then we had the Falcons +1.5. I realized the line movement on that one. Really strong, I guess I'll call it variance. Usually you do not see that much movement, but in this case, we did get quite a bit of movement. Nonetheless, the pick was given. We still covered it. So sweep of the board. You love to see it here, 3-0 there. So that puts us at 2.8 plus units. $100 bettors would be up 280 so far. So to just pump the brakes on myself here and everything, let's not get greedy here. Let's not start looking towards upping our unit size. I'm no messiah by any means. This doesn't mean you should be doubling down or betting more with what I'm about to give you. Just please stick to your unit size. Please gamble responsibly. Again, if you've started small, stay small, please. Commit to that unit size and stick with it throughout the year. That's very key to building our bankroll here. Don't double down. Don't keep up in the number. Don't chase and don't tilt. Just stick with what I give you. I think you're going to do just fine as we go through this. Again, I'm not a pro bettor. This is strictly for entertainment, my friends. So please, 1-800-BETS off if you are having issues with gambling. So I'm going to move right into the slate at this time. We are actually going to be jumping into Monday Night Football. Believe it or not, we have Eagles at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Raymond James Stadium. This line is aggregate at 5.5 right now, seeing it at all the big books. So the Eagles currently are banged up in their secondary. They've got a lot of injury concerns. More than that, the public perception of the Eagles right now is the fact that people still think that they are that Super Bowl contender from last year. And don't get me wrong, they still are a contender. That defense is just not quite the same. They had some key pieces leave. It's a young defense. They're still trying to figure things out. And the offense hasn't been really, truly humming like we were so used to with them. Baker has been playing well. I see this as a nice backdoor position where, the Buccaneers will probably struggle through most of this game. But at 5.5, that's a lot. Right there. I would bet this down to maybe 4.5 at the lowest. I would probably go. I doubt it gets too low there. The pros are all over this number. They've been hammering it for a while. Again, and part of that is that the public and their perception is still that the Eagles are the team of last year. But I just don't think that they look right. The Bucs have played a couple meh teams, but we are getting the upside of Baker Mayfield, this defense, which should be able to stop the run, and a very talented wide receiving core that's still there and it's still healthy. So, yeah, for my first pick, rookie picks, give me Tampa Bay +5.5. Again, as of this recording, it is a Tuesday. I still stand by my picks. I'm going to try to give you guys what I would bet it down to before I would be out on the position. But please lock that up. First pick of the rookie picks here. Second game, we are moving to. Give me 1 second here. Let's see where we're at here. Why can't I find it? I know what I'm betting. Broncos at the Miami Dolphins. Looking at this, we're seeing a pretty much just 6.5 locked in across the board right now. So what are we doing? We're going to get ugly on it. We are going to go pros versus Joes. Right now, I want to lock in the Broncos plus 6.5. We've got a Miami team that is super talented. They are looking to be making a Super Bowl run here. They're trying to get to that postseason, but I feel like this line is too inflated at the moment. Russell Wilson is playing better than what the box score is saying, than what the perception is. A lot of people are just going to see that they lost to the Commanders, and they're just going to say, I'm done with the Broncos. They stink. I'm out. But this is actually a really good position to be backing the Broncos. I don't think it's the offense that's been letting this team down. It's actually been the defense, which has been really surprising because it's a very talented unit. So we're hoping for a bounce back from the defense here, as the offense has actually been doing pretty darn well for us. Sean Payton is great as an underdog. This is a great position to back him in. I'd bet this down to probably about 5.5 or so, but I'm hoping you can get with me on the 6.5, 6 right now, as a lot of books are hanging the 6.5. So go ahead and give me the Denver Broncos. What an ugly bet to make here, as they take on a Miami Dolphins team that the public is just going to love. So yeah, let's go ahead and take that. And then finally, for my third pick, Ricky's picks here, a team which has just been breaking my heart, unfortunately. We have the Patriots taking on the Jets, traveling to MetLife Stadium in a division game here. The Patriots, I have personally been backing them the past couple of weeks, and they have looked good. Bill Belichick, tremendous coach. The offense has looked better than what you think is going on with them. They've had some really unlucky breaks. And what do I mean by luck? Luck is where you have those big flipping plays where there's been like a pick six, or there has been a fumble, or some sort of key turnover, where if the game had just played out as is, they would be covering the numbers. When they took on the Eagles in week 1, I had a position on them. They threw some pick six, and the Patriots were still in line to cover that number and backdoor it. And then including this last week against the Dolphins, they were driving so effectively. There just were some really unfortunate things that occurred. So where are we going with this? What's the actual analysis behind this? The Patriots, with Bill Belichick taking on Zach Wilson is the matchup that I think is key. Wilson is 0-4 straight up and against the spread against Bill Belichick. Belichick knows what he's doing against these younger QBs. He's gonna keep on exposing Wilson. So I'm just gonna go back to the well here. I'm not gonna tilt and get upset and go, oh, they've lost twice for me now. I'm not betting the Patriots anymore. No, we're just gonna go ahead and go back to them and take them. They're currently sitting at, let's see here, 2.5. I'm seeing some threes out there. I'm comfortable taking it at the 2.5 and the 3 here. This is usually a place where I actually like to back division dogs at home. But with Bill Belichick, it's different. With Zach Wilson, it's different. I look for the Patriots here to kind of help get themselves right. They're in a pretty desperate spot here. So go ahead and give me the Patriots here for the third pick of Ricky's picks. So again, my friends, steady bets, same unit size. Keep tailing me. I'm going to keep doing my absolute best for you. Stay tuned to the show. And good luck to all of you out there this weekend. I'll see you in the trenches. We'll see you.